well, welcome back to Quantum Black, Team Corvidae. This is Season 3, we're on Episode 6, after a little bit of hiatus in which a lot of off-screen stuff occurred. When last we saw Team Corvidae, were they in Las Vegas for the Salamander Stim? I believe they were.
That seems about right.
Yeah, because everything else was handled in the background.
Wow. So, yeah, when last we saw Team Corvidae, they were in Las Vegas. They were attending an auction from the various crime syndicates, all attending. There were two invites that were used. Zigzag went in under his own invitation, and if I remember correctly, was it Amber and Tori?
Yeah.
It was Amber and Tori together, right, on that one? Or was it Amber
and Morthos went with Zigzag.
Morthos went with
and
Zigzag, right.
Got swept up by the nun.
Right. So, in the last episode, there was the bidding war that occurred, artillery fired from the dock off the roof, disrupting the event, Jess stealing the salamander stim, and chaos erupting in the aftermath. Well, the team was successful in their mission to actually the best possible outcome they could have achieved, and they went to Florida for some R&R. And during that time, before they all went to Disney World, Zigzag was able to work with one of the agent's phones from Project Chimera, and they were able to, or Zigzag was able to use that authority from the government to utilize a Navy ship to drop depth charges down into the ocean to disrupt the vortex, the giant whirlpool, which was coming in towards Florida, and they were able to, or those explosives, they disrupted whatever was causing the vortex, which he found out later from the Navy dive teams was some sort of debris recovered, which essentially you've discovered is a Kaiju scale and some Kaiju tissue from that portal that had opened under the ocean. And so the party, there's some other stuff that happened, including Wiz agents trying to steal one of Zigzag's security bots, retaliation strike, a captured Wiz agent, and his interrogation was all done in the background. And then we have Tori, Jess, and Amber. Sorry, not Jess.
Along with Morthos.
Morthos, Amber, and Tori. Sorry about that. Were sent over to, not Fort Lauderdale, where was it? Jacksonville, to the Navy base to collect the Kaiju sample. And when they arrived, Project Chimera had sent their own agents to collect the sample. And where we are picking up is on that Navy base. Amber, Tori, and Morthos, you've brought in the truck. The Kaiju scale is very large and will need a flatbed, which you've brought in. But it seems there's two Project Chimera agents strolling towards you with a confused look on their face.
And side note is Amber is in that full suit, like the Men in Black style look, like the federal government agents might wear. Pair of shades on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you see down in this this facility, it's like a loading dock where the ship is docked right up next to it, and it's opened, and they've brought down the various different pieces of equipment, and you can see that there's a big large package, which would be the scale, and then boxes, like crates that are all shrink wrapped and put on a pallet, and those contain the other things. But what does Amber and Morthos, and Tori is just kind of standing off to the side, you're all taking point. What do you do?
We were also just asked, who are you?
That's correct.
To Amber. So Amber, wearing her shades, just looks down at the woman from the truck and says, "That's classified."
Okay, I will. Anything from Morthos as well, or just that's classified?
He's gonna wait a moment to see where this goes.
Okay. So, Amber, if you're rolling, that would be... It kind of would be a con check, I think. Which, if you don't have ranks, you'd have to roll your charisma.
Yep. And I'm gonna start off right away with 3 style points into this.
Okay.
Solid, solid.
Okay, that's just enough.
Yes.
So, she kind of looks over at her compatriot, who also looks a little confused, and be like, "We're with the U.S. government. We're with Project Chimera, and we're supposed to be taking these. Who are you?" And then the lady's gonna hold up her hand again, like stopping him, and she's going to look over at the truck, which looks fairly commonplace, not U.S. government at all. And she's going to ask, which one of you is in charge here?
Do you want Amber to take lead on this one, Morthos?
Me the person wants you to because I don't know what to say. But then again, if we have to use charisma to get our way out of this,
You don't have. You can get out of this however you want.
right? But from my understanding, we were trying to go like the diplomatic charisma route, like hopefully not trying to like fight our way out or. Yeah,
I see you're wondering about our truck. Why it seems so commonplace? It's because we don't want any outsiders to get at the idea of trying to steal it. Whereas a federal truck would seem more of interest. But that's all I will say about the matter.
We have orders to collect these.
Oh, and
documents.
by the way, I know exactly who you lot are.
Roll a. Oh gosh, you don't have intimidation, do you?
I don't think I have any charisma-based skills.
Okay. Roll another charisma, straight roll.
We're gonna go ahead and put the last 2 style into this.
Before you roll, Tori and Morthos, you're kind of flanking Amber. If any of you want to help, you can. I just need to see if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I'll help.
Okay. So, Amber, you can take a +2 from Morthos, and Jess, did you want Tori to also try to assist?
I don't even remember what's going on. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see. Yeah, Tori doesn't have any intimidation. He was never trained in that.
Okay. All right. Just take the +2 then, and then plus your style points.
3.
Oh, and how did you answer her?
I know exactly who you lot are.
Okay. She seems to. It doesn't look like one of them is necessarily more important than the other, but the woman has been kind of like taking point, and she puts her hands on her hips, which is carrying a sidearm over there. So she's not grabbing it or anything, but she's looking a lot more like aggressively defensive, and she's like, "Is that right?" So misclassified, you Which branch do you work for? I mean, obviously you got here onto the base. You're not Project Chimera. What are you, CIA?
Look, if it makes you feel better, you can ride with us.
The man steps away and starts pulling out his cell phone. He's going to move probably 20, 30 feet away, and he's going to start making a call. The lady...
Can I discreetly use the sonic? Because it's basically hidden by the door.
You can...
Or the door interfere with that.
So if you want to pull out the sonic and try to, like, disrupt the call, that would require a stealth check. That would be pretty challenging considering the woman is still, like, right in front of you. But
well, like I said,
try.
Amber is essentially in the truck. And she's been talking to her from inside the truck.
Alright, go ahead and roll stealth. Okay. So you didn't add your or no, you need to roll electronics now.
Mhm.
And plus your sonic screwdriver.
And that's +6.
Yes. Okay.
And yeah.
Yeah, so he's doing something on his phone. You can see it doesn't seem to be working, and the lady is she steps out of the way of the truck and just kind of motions, "Be my guest," and she's just gonna watch and wait to see you guys like try to load up their Kaiju scale, which is it's not that big compared to it fits in the back of the truck on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
What do you all do?
Is it just these two nearby, or are there...
There's military
Well, probably
personnel all around. There's only 2 Chimera agents, but there's like Navy guys all around, sailors, personnel.
And Amber has had her earpiece on the entire time for Zigzag to listen in. Like Zigzag and Jess, whoever wanted to listen in.
I was going to say, depending on the timeline, Zigzag is not listening in whatsoever.
Jess is on the beach with a martini, wondering where Tori's at.
Well, you sent Tori because they asked you to go, and you got them false IDs, and then Tori was going to go with them to the base. So at this point, Jess would actually be on the beach, like he said, and then Zigzag and the Doc are currently preoccupied with something else back in the hotel.
You know, I wasn't going to mention it because I was going to hope someone would have realized it, but you guys are on the base under Project Chimera.
Yep.
Which means if they look at your badges, you'll be under Project Chimera.
Yeah, she's waiting for you all. She's standing aside, hands on her hips, like...
So I guess we should load it up then?
Yeah, if you want.
Yep. Amber's gonna be like very wary of this woman.
Okay. If you proceed, there's like the forklift and some of the Navy workers and stuff. They will do the machinery to get it on the truck, but they are waiting for you to be instructed. At which point the agent, silent, cold, staring, just watches. The guy returns, and then they kind of lean in and whisper to each other a little bit. She pulls out her phone and starts checking. With an 8 on your roll, all the technology is kind of disabled and scrambled temporarily. So
yeah.
It takes not that long until the scale is on the back of the pickup, or the flatbed. Tori is eagerly waiting to probably get out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do anything else? The woman does not seem to be engaging with you any further.
So, if we are able to get out unchallenged, Amber is going to have Tori and Morthos take the van, and she herself will take the truck.
Tori would be following your instructions. So he's driving just the person van, and then you're taking the actual flatbed?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have the flatbed with the 4 crates of tissue samples. Tori and Morthos, you can both get in the van again. They do follow you out, and they get in their own car, which is parked next to you. Which, if I remember correctly, did you try to disable it, or you gave up on that? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I can scroll up and just double check. Either way, they're getting in their car too. So if you're looking to just get off the base, you can proceed.
Yep. And I'm okay with them following us if they want to. It means we can get them away from where all the military base is and take them out quickly.
Okay. I don't see anything about their vehicle being
We didn't happen to take
damaged.
the van that Amber likes to modify, did we?
No.
No, this is just
okay.
like a rental van.
Okay, just clarifying.
So the truck, you're able to exit the Navy base. The van is able to exit the Navy base. Their SUV with government plates, or actually it's not, it's like a hatchback or something, but they also follow. It does look like they are going to attempt to follow you.
Mm-hmm.
I am driving, and I turn to Morthos, and I ask, "Hey, Morthos, can you make their engine have a problem?" Well, Tori does at least. Just wondering. You know, pressure,
Right, that's what I was
water,
thinking. Like, ooh,
coolant.
water.
something.
I have water. You just like blame the
The
I
engine
forget
over
what's- yeah.
combusts, you know.
What are you wanting to do, Morthos?
she said water, and I'm like, oh, I remember that that one spell.
Oh, like create like a geyser of water from something?
I was like, that would be funny.
You know, ideally in a way that doesn't make it seem like we're the ones to do it.
Right. Yeah, I guess like just adding like some pressure to it.
Kind of like clog up some of the valves or something, and then cause it to smoke the engine.
Yes.
Right.
You can. I don't think you have electronics, so you wouldn't get synergy with it. But you can just roll a flat ritual magic.
Okay.
And because you're using a spell, you actually would get a +2 from your grimoire. Or no, you've got a grimoire too, so you'd get a +4 because this is an actual spell from that grimoire. Okay. So, do you wait till you're off the Navy base or before you get back?
Yes. Off
Yes,
the base.
definitely
Oh yeah,
off of the
definitely
base.
off the base, way off the
Because-
base. Preferably like an hour off the base, because we're going cross country too.
Yeah, I was going to say the further away from the base, the better, probably.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're convoying. It's a very obvious tale until their engine suddenly begins to smoke. In the driver's seat, Tori is just going to look over at you, and you're casting your magic, repeating ritual words. You've probably got your grimoire open even, and in its fashion, it is kind of hovering above your hand as the magic is taking place. And the engine begins to cough and sputter and start emitting first light wispy smoke, which rapidly turns black and gray, and they pull over, and you lose the tail.
Tori gets on the phone with Jess, asking her to find a place to change vehicles.
Yeah. At this point, you don't have a tail, so we can kind of just fast forward.
I kind of want to pull off just enough. I don't know if I have my rifle in the car or not.
I'm not
But
sure.
if I do have it with us, I kind of want to just take care of the agents.
Okay, so you want to pull over?
Yeah, once we're like safe distance away to where a sniper rifle can get a good scope on them, but they can't see us.
On the freeway?
Oh, yeah, never mind.
Okay.
Basically, we'll keep going to where they... Yeah, we'll keep going. We'll deal with them when we can.
Okay. So, switching over... Zigzag, the Doctor, and Jess. You've concluded your business at the hotel. You've made arrangements and parted ways. The last I think we're seeing of Zigzag is you're disappearing off into a taxi headed toward the airport, if I remember correctly.
That would be correct.
And the two bots, surprisingly, remain with the Doctor at the hotel. Jess, you are at the beach. You'd speak with Tori, kind of get the idea that they're headed back. They're coming from, I keep thinking Fort Lauderdale. It's Jacksonville, which is I think an hour or two away. So you've got enough time to get yourself dressed and cleaned up and packed. The Doctor had sent out a message the other day that you're all going to rendezvous in Montana at the safe house. And so, unless anybody says different, everyone is going to begin to make their way there.
Real quick for the truck, once we get to a safer point where it doesn't look suspicious, Amber is going to do a sweep for bugs and tracking devices and disable them.
Okay. Roll on electronics with your sonic screwdriver.
Because the last thing we want is somebody to try to track us.
Well, you're in luck because it does not look like there's any tracking or bugs or anything on the crate.
Oh, good. That's a lot of ones.
That's a really bad roll.
Good thing it wasn't one that completely matters, because if there was tracking, we could just take them out at some point. But yeah.
Tori had you guys change vehicles just in case, though.
Yeah, and it was like I think a rental or something. Anyways, Zigzag got a rental van for you guys. So, Dr. Desdemona, where are you headed from the hotel, and what are you, or maybe Zigzag is still controlling the bots at this point? What do you all do? Are you taking Quantum Black or Public?
I think we would probably end up taking Quantum Black, but before that, I think the doc realizing like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to be like seen in public with these bots. He's gonna like open up his briefcase and like take 2 like extra suits that he like has packed in his like luggage and like toss it to them and be like, maybe like, you know, it might help when we're trying to like get somewhere, you know.
So I might request a style point because Zigbot 3.0 is a soldier bot and he's tall and beefy, and I don't think it's
maybe not him, but
okay, sure. So the stealth the security bot 2.1, he is able to do that. He's worn suits before even.
And I will add in that both bots have been like set up on a, you know, they've been set up to follow the Doctor to Montana, to the Montana safe house where they will remain.
And I'm totally willing to spend a style point that I have outfitted both bots.
You just
Just
got
saying.
tailor-made got the
Clothes
gear for
are easier to buy than armor, and I've already done that.
I was gonna say, we also have to keep in mind, one of the bots is just Iron Man.
That's true. That's Zigbot 3.0. He's an Iron Man costume, basically. And then
That doesn't stop me from buying him more clothes, though. Just saying.
Zigbot 2.1 also still has a Mickey Mouse suit, though he's not wearing it.
Yeah, but the bots have been the most instructions that they've been like programmed to are follow the doctor to the Montana safe house where they will stay.
Okay. So Doc, you're going on kind of requisitioned cargo plane. Amber, Tori, Morthos, as you get back into Orlando, and you still have the Kaiju. It's like wrapped
I thought they were
up
going
and
straight to
boxed.
Florida.
It was from one city in Florida to the other city in Florida. Unless you're driving to Montana. If you want to do it that way, I suppose you could, but that's a long, long drive.
And that's a lot.
Okay.
I kind of imagine you're going to rendezvous with the doctor and bring the Kaiju thing, or try to drop it off for Green to collect.
I'm with those agents still out there. I am not planning on leaving it. I'm gonna see if we can't get a cargo plane.
Okay, so you just want to rendezvous with the doctor and load up that way?
Because I don't trust leaving the Kaiju scale with the two agents still being alive.
How about you roll a perception check for me, Amber? And it sounds like pretty much, except for Jess, I know you can always take Tori as well. Are you flying yourself or just going to jump on the cargo plane too?
Why would I jump on a cargo plane when I have like my own personal jet that I have a hammock set up in?
That's what I was asking. So I presume you and Tori are going on your own plane.
Yeah, probably. No, Tori was having a lovely drive with Morthos, just saying.
That's true. Where's Morthos going? Are you going on Jess's plane?
Yes.
I think I have a designated Morthos seat that has its own built-in massager.
Yay.
So you're all at the same airport, actually. Jess's plane can be kind of moved over to the cargo plane, or it can just be separated. But Doc with the Zigbots, Amber kind of drives up with the pallets. It can be loaded with airport machinery, I guess. We'll just hand wave that, and it can be loaded into the cargo plane. And if there's nothing else,
If there's any cameras, I would ask, Tori would ask Amber to scramble the footage. So that way any footage of you moving the scale would be...
oh, like driving onto airport property in the van or the flatbed and stuff.
Yeah. Pretty much Tori would have said to Amber pretty much anytime we're going through video surveillance, I kind of want us to be face scrambled.
Okay, so Amber, go ahead and roll another electronics with your bonus. Okay, so yeah, you catch all of those things and kind of scramble, wipe, or do whatever you need to make it so there's no real sign that you were here from technological cues. But you're able to load it up, and the cargo plane takes off. And we shall go over to Montana. What's this?
On the way
yellow?
there, I would chat with Morthos about the ley lines and who he's trying to contact and try to get a feel for what exactly we will probably be doing.
So the way it would work is Jess, Morthos, and Tori, the private jet's going to be faster than the C-130 aircraft, and so you land in Montana. It's still kind of that early spring. Everything's still covered with snow in the mountains and stuff. This, I believe, is where Amber's van had been requisitioned to be moved to, if I remember correctly. So it's basically waiting for you guys when you get here. A little bit after the Quantum Black C-130 aircraft lands, the scale and the pallets are here. Doc, did you want to have Green meet you here and take control over it, or what's the plan with this? Are you taking it to the Montana safe house?
Oh, probably not taking it all the way. Like, probably like meet him at another like more secluded airport somewhere to
Okay.
like
If you are you reporting this also to mission control or just to Green? That actually also is an important question.
I think it's actually a habit these days not to just like automatically tell mission control, but sometimes to just be like, "Hey, Green, I need you in this location to pick up this thing. You might want to bring this or something."
Mm-hmm. So it's recommended that there's a science facility that Quantum Integrated Technologies operates in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Amber's actually already been there before too, is pretty familiar. So if you wanted to drop it in Tulsa, you could do that and then offload and then meet up with Jess and Morthos and Tori following.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So we will kind of fast forward that. Quantum Black agents are able to receive that shipment of the Kaiju scale and the tissue samples, and you can make your way to Montana. From there, load up into Amber's van, drive out to the previously floating lodge that has now been remodeled and re-equipped for your personal uses. And this is a refuge number 1 on your character sheets. It should be anyways. And as you walk in, it's very different to what it used to look like, in the sense that it's actually on the ground instead of floating. And the interior has been completely redone. I think I deleted all the body tokens and the gore and everything that was on here previously. And you can kind of have repurpose this to your wishes. Zigzag, you're not here, but you also have a say kind of in which corners you all wanted to claim. I don't know if you all want to draw on the map at all to say this is my section or what you want to put in here. But this is your opportunity if you want to create this.
Do remember that
I
I wanted these rooms to have the walls broken out and turned into essentially a like command center for a Zigzag filled with computers.
Okay. So this
The
is...
second floor was where I was messing around with.
I don't remember if I cleared this one off. I think I did. Oh, there's a body there still. So you want the second floor, Jess? What areas?
Second floor. So Jess is going to turn this into her... Oh gosh, my pencil. Hold on, I need to change this to the marker. She's going to turn this into her giant 2-bathroom with a beautiful tub. This is going to be her closet. Oh, this room, there's a bathroom in the way. That needs to be gotten rid of. Well, she needs a bigger room. That's going to be her room. And all of this area that is left blank is going to be a common area turned into like a lounge game room with like an arcade. Tori wants this room.
Well, I think all of this are the walls and supports of the...
It can all be remodeled, though. Like, all of this
It can
stuff
be
is
remodeled.
open to whatever you guys want it to be.
Lounge game room. Also, where do we get our snacks? There's definitely like a kitchen in the lounge. This side...
There is a... On the first floor, the block is supposed to be kitchen stuff. Like,
Oh.
everything behind the front desk was...
Okay, well, the lounge definitely has a snack zone. Just saying.
Doc, did you have a medical ward you wanted to build?
Yeah, but not out loud. Jeez. I figure probably either like in the basement, like where you feel safe, or in the basement where you feel safe.
We'll say that's underneath here on a P1.
Amber will definitely take a room on the second floor where she can get a good vantage point of everything.
Okay.
Like the path leading up to where if...
Oh, like by the stairs?
Is this
Probably that
balcony?
First room.
No, that's the front door, lodge first floor.
That's the front door. Okay.
So this would be kind of like right by the stairs.
I forgot to put in that this area over here has not a zip line, but a descender, so I don't have to walk all the way around. Just putting that
Right.
out there.
I would
I
love
imagine-
for there to. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, it's all right. My little 2 cents is real short. You can do your thing. Okay, awkward silence. I guess I'll go ahead. There's definitely like a keypad, like both electronical and an old school like padlock on the doctor's door to his basement.
Both manual and technological. What was I?
Indeed, for Kixies. Like manual, like keypad, and like thumbprint like scanner. Like
Very secure. So, Amber, did you want like this corner type area for your space?
Basically, I want a. Oh yeah, that's perfect. And a way for access to the roof, if we can build that in.
Yeah, you can have roof access. You can even add a deck on the roof if you want. I don't
Oh,
care.
absolutely, because I want a place where I can do some sniping if
Okay. Well,
we have intruders.
you're in
I think the
Montana, so you
lounge
could even
should-
have like a long range, 2,000 yard, like deep range finder shooting range too, if you want.
Oh hell yeah!
I think the lounge should have access to the roof, and the roof should be its own.
Yeah, it'll
zone
be
of-
basically the center above the lounge.
While
Yeah.
we're at it, let's add a slide on the roof to the ground.
No, from the building. Well, not to the ground, but I don't know. You could get up a slide is the thing.
It could be one
And
of
you-
those Scooby-Doo slides where it turns into steps and then like.
Can we have one of those Mark Rober rope descenders that we?
Yeah, you can have that. This
Okay,
thing
yeah,
here.
from the roof.
Except it can go up too. Morthos,
Well-
where do you want? What was that? Hello?
I thought someone else was trying to say something, so I didn't know if it was my turn to speak or not.
Yeah, you can jump in. There's no like initiative, so everybody else is, I think,
So
stepping a
everybody's
little
just
over.
excited and has cool ideas, so I'm just sitting here like, I just want a room.
Are you on second floor or first floor? What do you prefer?
I think the first floor has the most extra space right now, I think.
What would you like?
Yeah. Just like over here in the corner.
So you have like this space.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna come in and just claim this corner too, just real quick.
That's your actual living chamber.
Yeah,
Doc, do you have a living bedroom, or do you just everything in the
yeah,
basement?
the basement. Yeah, for real. Like he just sleeps in his lab all the time, and yeah,
Your bed is like literally the MRI device.
We
like
need
he
to-
passes out in like one of his vats every once in a while when he gets bored, you know.
We need to make a room where we can like put people that we.
Oh, you mean an interrogation room and holding cells?
I was
Yeah.
supposed to say a jail.
Yeah,
I don't think you guys have ever taken prisoners to a base before.
I know you're right. So it should be an execution room. You're right. My mistake.
Wow, you guys like getting very dark.
I mean, why do that
Like,
when we can
sorry.
just execute them elsewhere and we don't get blood in our lodging?
It's called
Gun
safe-
and supplies should be in here.
Okay.
Supplies, guns, toys.
So armory. I presume, Amber, you want to have an exterior garage built.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so that'll be like off by like the trees or something. So anything else you want to frisbee out into your safe house?
Right here.
Zigzag needs at least like 4 mini fridges.
Okay.
in
Every
his-
room should have a mini fridge. And by that I mean every section should have a mini fridge.
Zigzags are specifically stocked, though. You know, he's all about that Mountain Dew pitch black.
That tastes terrible, by the way.
Listen, he likes it. It's what he's been drinking since he showed up.
I heard it's an acquired taste.
For the garage, Amber would love a big garage full of tools and whatnot.
Yep, you can have a stocked garage. This is all counting as a Refuge 1. So whenever you're operating out from here, you're getting a Refuge 1 bonus, which is +2 per rank in Refuge. New York is nicer, has better gear, better stuff. It is a rank 2 in New York City, but of course you all know New York City is infested by zombies. So this is where you all at. And unless last call for throwing out any add-ons, and you can always do a little bit of this more later. At some point I will call it and you'll have to add on things, but this is your original build. So if there's anything
I
you
would
wanna
like
add
a
in,
library.
done.
Oh,
Where do you want?
yes.
It's just your adjacent room. Nobody's claimed. Just like library.
Yeah, we could just put it next to my room. It's perfect. Between the armory and the library.
Oh yeah, where do you
There's
want
an
the...
office in my room, by the way.
You have like
Also-
4 rooms, so yes, there is.
I think this is the armory.
That is the armory.
For this particular place, secret compartments hiding weapons throughout the place, where
I also
you wouldn't be able to know it's there unless you knew it was there.
Okay.
I think
staged
every
weapons.
room has an armory because everyone has their own personal weapons.
Oh,
but
yeah.
That's just
Well, there's going to
the-
be the actual armory where you have like 50 loaded carbine mags, pistol
Yeah,
mags,
this is-
all that different things. So
This is like where the mortar gets put when we're not using it.
yeah, the big stuff, munitions, combat vests. I'm presuming Amber, who has like the really long, like 8 or 10 foot alien rifle that you recovered. You're not carrying that places all the time, so it's probably like here. Though it might be in New York. I don't know if I've heard you even.
It'll probably be
Dude.
here.
So this room right here that I'm outlining is the Zigbot's room, and this bathroom is being repurposed for their closet that Jess is stocking for them.
Okay.
The Zigbot needs a room.
Can this be
Unless-
part closet, part charging station?
Totally.
And then
Yes.
we crack out this wall so that the Zigbots can easily get into Zigzag.
Yeah, like a adjoining door for sure.
Yeah.
So that was I don't know why you missed that. I was thinking of what other closets would I
Well,
stock?
you
And I'm
know,
like,
I was just
"Bot."
thinking the bots would stay in my rooms.
She's thinking ahead when you have. Never mind.
I'm pretty much sure that like one whole room is going to be just a server.
All right, we got it. Hold on. Sorry, your library might be noisy because this is the server room.
Oh, jeez. That's okay.
No,
We'll soundproof
no.
the walls.
No, that
Well-
needs to be like something else.
No, Zigzag does have soundproofing. He can just stick it all on the walls and make sure it's fine. If this is the giant, computer room for Zigzag, this'll be the tech lab. He deals with his computer stuff here. He walks through, checks on the bots, and then he walks on the tech lab to work on the bots.
I should start
Oh, so
writing in downtime for you guys because all season has been like a literally hour by hour count.
Adrian, the
Why-
garage I added to the side.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead, Doc.
Why do I imagine that like because we're like in Montana and Montana gets really cold? Why do I feel like there's like a pool in the backyard that's like the heat sink for the server? We're warming the pool and cooling the server room by the ambient like water cooling of the pool.
100% there's a pool, but that is too small of a pool. It needs
It's
to
out
be
of room
bigger.
of the map. It's fine. It's bigger. It's just
And there is a slide from my room into the pool. I just want to clarify that.
Amber would definitely have a descender from her room down and from the roof
Maybe-
down.
Maybe it would actually be from the balcony.
from the top floor.
Yeah, from the
I'm
balcony.
not gonna draw anymore. Okay. I think
Okay.
it's been about 45 minutes in game
And
so
a
far.
hot tub.
So I'm going to kind of shift. One last actual question for everybody. Let's start with Zigbots 3.0 and 2.1. You are here in the base. Zigzag with your mods, you are able to actually still assume direct control even at this range. If you wanted to park them yourself or walk around as a Zigbot, you are able to do so. What does the bots do?
They will find their way into the house and park themselves in the. If all of this has already been constructed,
Yes, this is as upon your arrival.
they would park themselves into the bot rooms and hook themselves up to their respective chargers.
Okay.
And then just shut down for the day.
Okay. Amber, you pull up in your van. It's your special van. You've spent a lot of time on this. It's a big, nice sprinter, armored, full of gear and weapons. Everybody offloads out. What do you do?
Can you take me to the second floor really quick, Adrian?
Sure.
Thank you. Sorry, we can't hear you, Michael.
Let's see. Amber would put the van in the garage, make sure it's secured.
Okay, done. That it?
The security is on it. Yeah, like I was saying before, there would be secret compartments that you wouldn't know was there unless you knew it was there.
Yeah, it's like the whole behind the painting, there's a gun safe type thing everywhere, but all over.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like basically, like if you didn't know any better, there it would just be a normal fireplace, but you do a thing and a gun comes down.
Okay. Yeah. So if Ember's just gonna park the car and kind of go to her room then, or hang out, explore, just be in the safe house, nothing specific. That's fine. It's a new place, so she can just hang out and
basically should like explore it.
Okay. Dr. Desdemona, you arrive, you see your new base camp. What do you do? Anything?
Yeah, Desdemona would definitely like go down into the basement and disappear for a little while, while everyone else is getting situated.
Okay, so kind of off for a bit. Jess, Tori, what are you all doing upon arrival?
Yes.
I'm going to take a nap.
Of course you are. Tori will probably be too excited to take a nap, and he's going to just be like hanging out in the lounge, checking out all the rooms, just exploring, kind of really excited about this cool place.
Actually, I have a quick question. Does Morthos know like what the center is for like the ley line? Like what is the point at which, or is it like the whole building?
The ley line, I've always imagined ley lines, and this is not maybe lore specific to like whatever Call of Cthulhu or other books talk about ley lines, but I've always imagined it to be like ripples of like strong magic that amplifies everything, that kind of wiggle across the earth and phase in and phase out. That might not be what actual ley lines are in books and stuff, but that's kind of what I've always thought. So there's like this line that goes across through this area, and where the floating lodge was lifted up was because of kind of a bit of wild magic that surged, if you will, and tore it out. And then I think there's also the spellcasters that were using it, and that's kind of what caused it back then. But there's a ley line that kind of phases in and out over this safe house area. So if Morthos were to do magic in this area, it would be stronger.
Is Morthos gonna meet up with his friend via ley line? Like a magic telephone?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yep, and Morthos is next. So unless Jess was doing anything else, but if you're just taking a nap, Tori's running around having a good old time.
I will add, not to ruin Tori's good old time, but whether email or text message or something, he would eventually find himself billed for an entire mini fridge's worth of items from the hotel that he was staying at in Florida.
That's right, and he's missing his concealed vest, which he can restock from the armory here. And he's also, what was it? He got like $5 or something. I forget what that was. Anyways, Morthos, you arrive. What do you do?
We'll probably spend a little bit of time, like, checking everything out, because, it's all new and all that good stuff. And then after a bit, he would probably just go to his room so he could get working on this contacting Amos thing.
Okay. Becca, I'm going to move the sheet back. I know you're drawing. I hope this is a little fun thing. I am
You got Tori's room and Jess's closet confused. I had to fix it. You're good.
Okay, here we go. Before I jump to Morthos, I'm going to have the doctor roll an appropriate medicine roll.
Would that be plus synergy with biology?
You know the drill. Yep.
Yeah.
And this one is a +2 for the base because it's not the refuge 2.
Right.
Okay. Hard at work as always. We'll come back to that later. Morthos, as you go to your room after kind of exploring, what are you going to try to do? You just trying to communicate with Amos?
Yeah, so he'll probably, like, dig out the letter, because for some reason more so I think it'll help. Just kind of focuses on that and his intentions of reaching out and contacting him through this ley line, and he's just kind of winging it, really. Because I don't imagine he's done anything like this before.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if there is like a communicate spell that you have in your book. I know we've shifted to kind of freeform magic, which is
not that I'm aware of, but
okay. So this is just kind of you sitting down, opening your book, just because it's kind of like a focus point for you to channel magic, and then you have the letter, which is what's it called when you have something to do with that person?
An anchor.
Yeah, it's like an anchor to Amos. He's written in this. The letter is written in blood. Maybe it's Amos's blood, maybe it's not. But you close your eyes in your room, begin to feel out with the magic, and you're very tuned to magic. You've always have been. It's one of the reasons you were picked up by that cult as a young child. And as you begin to reach out, and you feel like you're pushing out into like this vast void of the universe, and you're trying to find Amos, what do you say to him?
I probably would just be like, Amos, are you there?
Perfect. I'm going to have you roll a ritual magic check. You're going to get a +2 because of the letter. You're also going to get a +4 because of your on the ley line. So you get a total of +6. Okay. You feel a connection. It's like you're closing your eyes and you're kind of imagining yourself kind of like floating through a vast nothingness, and you're asking, Amos, are you there? And then you hear a voice that's kind of it's familiar, but it's warped and almost echoey, like it's very far away, like you're speaking to each other through like a pipe from over a long distance. It's like, Morthos, it's you.
Yes, it's me.
You must come to Mexico. Come help me.
We're in Mexico, and what exactly is going on? And did you write that letter with your own blood?
No, I am okay. You must come quickly. Hold on one second. I need to look at something really quick. because it's on the wrong computer. Come to Guatemala. I found the Book of the Dead. I need you to bring me vials of Vessin blood. Otherwise the spell, it won't work. Morthos.
How did you find the book?
It's in Guatemala. Come help me, Morthos. Morthos! Morthos! And then you feel a kind of severed connection.
Well. Also, you said it needed what kind of blood?
He said Vessin blood.
Vezin?
You could roll a supernatural lore check.
Okay. Do.
Okay. With 5 successes, you've never heard it necessarily called that. You speak actually a whole bunch of languages. What languages do you speak?
See, that's the funny thing is I still need to add like 3 more to my list.
What do you have so far?
Right now, I have English, Latin, Code, Korean, German, and Swedish.
Okay, so
you should add Spanish to that.
Can I?
Yeah, if you haven't chosen them yet.
Say, is that cheating a little bit?
No, that's fine. You haven't chosen them, so you can. So you know it's in German, and Vessin is like the literal translation is, I think, is Sein. Vessin Sein. It's like being or something like that. But in the terminology that he seems to be using, it is almost something more of an arcane thing. And you put 2 and 2 together that you've encountered various types of pig people, wolf men, people of like animalistic features, and that is Vessin.
Huh. My next thought in this process would be to go pester the doc in his lab in the basement.
Okay. You go down kind of the lodge entryway. There's like the door to go where employees used to be able to go, and there's the stairs down to the basement. The door has been completely changed. It doesn't look like it used to. It's like metal, has padlocks, thumbprint, code lock, and it is closed.
Eyeing all the like fancy technology on the door, he just opts to knock really loud.
You hear like a buzz, like the sound of being like buzzed into like an apartment or whatever, and like you can hear it like unlock. He didn't like manually lock it.
Ah, cool. I will show myself in then.
Yep. What does Morthos see, Doctor?
Your stereotypical like science lab, except for, there's other more I don't know, vats, like my cloning vats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The doctor is currently like eyeballs deep into a microglass, like staring at a slide.
Now, with a 7 success, Doctor, you determine that the Kaiju scale is made out of an extremely thick, durable almost like calcium-based armor. It's like bone armor, but very, 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 very resistant. And on the interior side, where it used to be connected to flesh, it's like the tendrils of sinew is very acidic and very difficult to handle. The boxes that the Navy have been able to put it in are already pitted and scarred from the tissue samples just oozing this acidic material, this viscous goo. But yeah, this is definitely something alien, something you've never seen before. There's like molecules that aren't even on any of your chemical charts. It's very alien and very very difficult to keep in a containment device. It's all you kind of plan your probably every month you're probably going to have to retransplant it to a new like heavy duty case just because it continuously seems to dissolve stuff. Yeah.
So outwardly it would be hard to tell, but the doctor is giddy as a child in a candy store right now. He would look back from the scope at Morthos and be like, "What do you need, Morthos?"
You remember those pigmen?
Yes, I recall you mentioning something about them.
Did you happen to take any samples from them? Or any of their blood?
Well, matter of fact, I did, but I'm not quite sure. He'll start like looking through like some of the stuff that's like here, to see if like he actually has some here. I don't think he actually would, but I'll throw a style point for kicks and giggles.
If you want to try to like have it so your stock has been like moved over here, like the whole plan was even before New York started to have it shifted over to the new one, then yeah, you can spend a style point and have some of your other stuff.
Okay. Yeah, he'll like open up like a refrigerated case that has like a whole bunch of different like, vials in it, and he'll like, you can kind of hear them clinking together as he's like shifting through them like a file cabinet, and like pull one out and go, "I think I might just have some. What do you need it for?"
We need to take it to my friend in Mexico. For this book that he found. It's the Book of the Dead. He said something about needing the blood from them to do a spell.
Can you trust this individual?
So this is basically Morthos' contact from the cult, right?
Yeah, you're kind of like childhood
Okay, I forget.
friends.
It's been a while.
Yeah, but Amos and you were you grew up together, and you both kind of left the cult about the same time, but were both still fascinated with like magic, if I remember correctly. And so you've always kept in touch, and then you wound up getting pulled into Quantum Black, and he kept on going on his own and stuff.
Then Morthos would say the doctor would be like, I trust him a lot.
We all have our shortcomings, sure. I think I have enough to spare.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
How much does your friend need?
Unfortunately, he was not specific, and I wasn't able to get a lot of answers to my questions. I think he might be in some kind of trouble.
Interesting. Do you think that we might have a day or two?
I'm not sure. All he said was Mexico, Book of the Dead, blood from these guys, and as fast as we can.
Okay. So the doc, knowing that time's short, would try to augment a liver or something to try and produce a little bit more of that kind of blood. Like, he's essentially trying to clone the blood.
So with cloning, can you take just like blood and clone blood to blood and make more of it that way? Is that how the cloning actually would work?
Theoretically, if you made an organ that was of that genetic material, and you could get it to produce more, then theoretically.
Can you take like the blood sample and create like you said, a little bit from
that? I don't. Oh, from that, yeah, maybe. With stem cells, like, I mean, almost anything is possible.
So, roll a check for that with your I forgot what rank it is. Is it 2? And then, like, add your bonus and everything, and we'll just let the dice decide. I'd say this is going to be pretty. Yeah. And then with your proper bonuses, and then it will be a challenging roll. I think I kind of want to keep it at a 6 for this.
Okay. So do I get a bonus from the lab?
Yes, the lab is a +2.
Okay.
And then
not 42. Okay. I will throw some style points into this because I don't need to hoard them like some type of style dragon. I'll throw 2 in. Where did my dice value go?
Pause for a second. Because this is from the VATs, right?
Yeah.
So it would use the VAT bonus, not the hospital bonus, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right.
But the VAT one is higher anyways, because I think is a +4.
Okay, so +2 from style, +4 from VATs, so that would be 8.
Really? Hold on one second. Did you already roll?
No, not yet.
What was your base skill that you're going to roll for?
I figured science biology, but
you'd still get synergy with chemistry, wouldn't you? Or physiology?
Oh yeah, right. So that would be
yeah. Add your synergy.
So that okay. I will use chemistry for funsies. Okay, that'd be a +10. We ready?
Go for it.
Okay, there we go. Hey, look at that.
Just enough. So, I think we'll say that this project is probably going to take you a couple days to like get it to a point where Morthos can actually like use it. So everybody essentially has a couple days to hang out, settle down into the lodge. Over on whatever part of the world he's on, Zigzag is getting things done, and a couple days later, Morthos, the doctor is done and has been able to clone the blood sample to be able to provide more Vessin blood, if that's what you would wish to do.
Why do I just see the doc walk up with like a milk gallon just filled with like blood and be like, here you go.
It's a chunk of blood, like, here you go, kid.
Okay. Straight up with like a tape label on it that says jug of blood.
So what next? Morthos, you have this resource that your friend has asked for.
I mean, I guess the question is, do I go to Mexico? Do we as a team want to go to Mexico? I feel like if shit's going down, like, I'll need backup.
Is this a rare occasion Morthos asks for help?
Yes.
Well, first you're with the doctor, so what does the doctor say?
He doesn't see any issue in going into Mexico to help acquire this Book of the Dead. It might be beneficial to the team's cause.
Okay. Zigzag is again, he's not present, so you've got Amber and Jess, who are. You find them around the safe house, hanging out, having a break from the chaos that is your lives. What does Jess say?
Are we leaving right now? Wait, when did you just get the blood? Are
This
we
is like a
having
couple
day
days
off?
after. You've had like 2 days here at the safe house.
Yeah, I was getting bored of swimming. Let's do some stuff.
Tori will say, if Jez is going, I'm going. You know that. How about Amber?
Michael?
Or is Michael still be right back?
Michael probably's going.
Yeah, he said be right back. I thought he had been back, but it's Amber without other orders from Quantum Black, and you guys have kind of been just pending on site for a little bit. Will also agree to go, I presume. Amber can retcon that if they don't want to play in this session. But we are going to go on a journey.
Where are we going? Guatemala?
You're going to Mexico City first, because you don't have a direct flight into Guatemala. Actually, you probably do, but we're not going to see Team Corvidae for a second, because I would like to hear from Eric, please, if you are with us.
Like a seance.
If you
Is
are
the
with
spirit
us.
of Eric with us in this
I
movie?
put the headset unplugged.
Oh, no problem. Eric, I would like you to describe to everybody here who you are playing, please.
Sorry, I wasn't quite prepared. Hi. I am playing my one character from Pies One Thought, Edward Dubay. He is a Brit. He just probably had a couple days back in Manchester before getting a phone call from Quantum Black.
Mission Control is pulled him because of his various skills, which are applicable to this mission, and has been assigned to rendezvous with Team Dragonfly down in the nearby area of Mexico City. It's not in the city itself. It's maybe a couple hours out into the area where Team Dragonfly's been assigned. And yeah, you're flying. Quantum Black's bought your ticket. You're flying into the city. It's from England. It's probably been a long flight actually to fly across the ocean. From which
Yeah, we were knackered after a long flight.
But yeah, you touch down into the city. Going through public transportation is a pretty big shift if this were a TV show, from us being used to seeing the Doc and Amber, Jess, Morthos, and Zigzag all commuting by private aircraft and Quantum Black's cargo planes. We see Edward kind of going through the normal, mundane way of just normal airport, and kind of passing through security. Do you speak Spanish?
No, he does not speak Spanish very well. He might have a moment. Where is La? Like he would probably be asking after leaving security. He would be asking someone, "Where is El baggage claim?"
Did I give you a style point already? I didn't get to give you a style point because that's
Give him a style point. That was
El
funny.
baggage claim. Hold on, I've got to. There's so many characters now. I have to actually type people's names to see them. So Edward, the what are they called? Like the border patrol guards at the airport. They're trying to usher you out of the line. They're speaking in quick Spanish. You could roll a linguistics check at this point.
Oh, well, but I hope he doesn't do well because I'm specifically kind of making him bad at Spanish for funny.
Well, it's not so much understanding what they're saying, so much as what is their meaning. Yeah, no, you're a little flustered. You're asking for baggage, and they're pulling you out of the line. At first, you think they're taking you to a baggage claim, but they take you to a small, like, little office, and you can see through the window where everybody else is moving forward the line, no problem. But they put you in this little room, and then the officer closes the doors after saying a quick couple words in Spanish, probably like just a minute, please, or wait here, or something like that. It seems kind of like just a hassle, and you are left there in this room. I would
Wait,
like...
I'm looking for this bloke named Ford.
And the door closes, and you're alone with yourself and your little carry-on, your backpack with some of your gear, but like not your rifle bag, not your duffel bags that you brought.
So I can't carry guns on planes.
Meanwhile, in the same airport, Graves, I'd like you to describe yourself, please.
Graves, well, he's a not tall, but seemingly tall-looking man, maybe like 5'8". If he knew he's going through normal airport security, he would be in civilian clothes. But if not, he is in his military gear, desert camo from the armor to the fatigues, duffel bag slung over his shoulder, and a backpack on his back with a pair of glasses on his face.
Now, the Spanish police, they also tried to pull you out of line. Do you speak Spanish?
Graves speaks Spanish.
Okay. So they're like, Senor, there's some issue with your passport. Please step out here while we try to resolve this. And they are trying to also push you towards one of these side offices.
Would I know that this is out of the ordinary? Would I know this isn't just like a ploy from Quantum Black, like this is intended?
Roll a streetwise check. Or do you have streetwise?
I do not.
Okay, roll intelligence. I think... I haven't been running this, but I think if you have to roll a base attribute without being trained in like the base skill, I think you actually do have to roll a -2. But I haven't been making anybody else, so for this game, I won't have anyone do that. But I do need to follow up on that. So go ahead and just roll base intelligence.
All right.
Okay. This definitely feels like kind of just Mexico City corruption. Like they're going to try to bully you into paying some sort of fees or something because you're going public transportation, you're a foreigner. They think they can probably like intimidate you a little bit.
Okay, so I'm just going to look at them as they're trying to usher me out, and I would like to say to the figure who's trying to usher me, in Spanish, and say, I think it would be better for both of us if I got all of my items first. Wouldn't you say? I think
Are you saying this?
you get a better deal from it.
Go ahead. Let me think.
You have persuasion.
Persuasion, diplomacy. Yeah, roll that. And you can have a +2 because you have linguistic Spanish to be able to synergize.
Cool. So +2.
Okay. The security guard kind of pauses and is like, "Si, senor. Si. Let me just escort you to make sure there's no further problems for you with the other guards." And you pass by Edward in the office. Kind of, I don't know, Edward, what are you doing? It's been like 5 minutes and nobody's come in yet.
He's a bit seized off, but he doesn't. I don't know if he's gonna stop breaking out. Would I have a cell phone or any kind of?
Yeah, you got all your stuff in that you would have in your carry-on, your backpack.
Yeah, but it would not the big sniper rifle.
No, all your weapons would have had to been checked.
Is there some kind of like contact code? I mean, I know they some kind of code to contact Quantum Black.
Yeah, you could reach out to Mission Control. They don't always answer, or you could contact mission support, might be better. Mission control is like the top, like the executives of Quantum Black who deal with like distributing missions. Mission support is like who you go to if you need to request stuff, or if you need local safe houses or something in the immediate pertaining to the mission. So you'd probably reach out to mission support. And having a rank 1, you'd actually have access to the supply officer Green.
Kind of probably text or call and say, possible complications in meeting contact, what is it, Jorge? Or what's the name you gave me? Good to chat with you.
Yeah, I believe it was Jorge.
Jorge, yeah.
Yeah.
Jorge. Oh, so.
So if you send a text over to Green, Green texts back 2 words, on it, period. And
Did you
through
poop?
I think you're muted,
Sorry.
Becca.
Sorry, talking to my child.
You were just look up from your phone just in time to see Graves kind of walk past the window, escorted by this one security guard. It's the same guard that detained you, and you can see Graves is wearing like the military fatigues. He looks very much like, would you say, an army guy?
Very, yes, to the T.
Yeah. Graves, roll a perception check.
Sure.
Probably standing up and pacing the room, a little cheesed off.
Yeah, Graves, you look through that window, and let me go back to actually what did Graves ask when he was checking in with Quantum Black? You asked, you had 3, you question marked 3 people, right? If I remember correctly.
I did.
But you didn't pursue that, right?
I didn't.
All right. Well, you notice Edward kind of pacing, looking out. You make eye contact as you kind of walk by. You can put 2 and 2 together that whoever's in that room, he was detained just like you were. And the moment's gone. You walk past unless you stop, but the guard's kind of like escorting you towards baggage.
Yeah, no, he would just continue to grab all of his gear.
Okay. Dr. Desdemona. You're on the plane. Actually, this is a question for you and Jess. Would you take a Quantum Black cargo plane, or would you fly in her private jet?
Well, theoretically, this is off the book, so I mean, I guess we would try to fly with Jess.
Okay. Jess is still be right back, but I'm pretty sure Jess.
No, I have my headphones on. Sorry.
Is Jess okay with?
Yeah,
flying?
that's fine.
Okay, so we're going to jump into Jess's plane for a second. I'm going to just move this back over here so I can copy more tokens.
Sorry about that.
No worries. I know the kids are there. Anyways, so Jess, you're taking Morthos, Tori, Amber, and the Doctor in your private jet. And confirm Zigzag, the Zigbots are still staying at Montana.
The Zigbots remain in Montana.
Okay. So the flight isn't like super long to get down to Mexico City, but in the flight, as you're kind of coming up on the city itself, like, Jess, do you have a pilot for your plane, or did you have like Zigzag make an autopilot for it, or is Amber flying it, or Tori, or I forget who?
Yes.
Amber would be flying it.
Okay.
Amber is the pilot. I also have autopilot.
Okay. So you're hanging out in the back with the rest as you're flying in. What's Morthos doing, actually? How are you carrying the jug?
I'm sorry for missing the portion of the session.
We assumed you were coming with us to Mexico. That was...
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Yep, we're good then.
Just dealing with some heavy stuff.
Okay. Well, we'll try to talk about that after the game if all good. For what's going on is you're all in the airplane right now. Jess's private airplane flying into Mexico City. Morthos asked the team to basically, I don't know, what did you say? Did you just ask to do everyone to help you out, Morthos, and just go with you on this quest to pick up the Book of the Dead with Amos?
Yeah, pretty much.
And I assumed Amber would say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody who's on the team is on Jess's plane right now. So if you're flying it, Morthos, you're in the luxurious seats in the back. What do you want to do? Or just hang out or look out the window? What do we see?
Just chilling. The jug is probably in like a backpack or something that's easier to carry.
Nice. How about for Jess and Tori?
I mean, chilling at, relaxing, messaging family, seeing how everyone's doing, checking on stuff,
Okay.
the usual.
And Doctor, how are you spending this end of the flight?
I don't know, maybe like I could see him like, because he doesn't care about property damage or anything like that. Every once in a while, he's like sneaking into the bathroom and smoking a cigarette and like.
So, you tend to have multiple phones on your person, correct?
Yeah.
Your mission control phone buzzes, and it's green.
I like a phone call or like a
like a
text?
SMS. Yeah, it's like an
Right.
email alert from it's from mission supply. What was it called? Mission support. But it's to mission control, and it's just a note from Green. Team Dragonfly needs assistance. Detained at airport, Mexico City.
All right. He will message Green and be like, "Well, ironically, we're taking vacay in that like certain area, so maybe we can do something about that when we get there."
You get another response back from Green, and it says, "You are the only one from Mission Control who talks like this. I kind of love it. I will let him know help is on the way." And on Green's side, he just sees Mission Control texting back. He doesn't see that it's the Doctor. So
he just kind of knows though.
So I love that. I will have Green text back Edward after a little back, and you get a text from the supply officer Green. Help is on the way. Hang tight. Dr. Desdemona, as mission control, you get a copy of Edward Dubay's file. I think you know him from like the last game, so I won't go over kind of his background. Unless Eric, do you want to kind of tell anything else that the Doctor will see from your history?
I don't know if he just sees the relevant data, he would know he's a wilderness survival specialist sniper from the Royal. Oh, what's the term? The term for the former Royal Marine. Left the Royal Marines before encountering encountering and surviving a supernatural threat. Was recruited after survival.
Mm-hmm. And you can see that he has completed his rookie badge. He is actually a rank 1 member of Quantum Black. Served with distinction in Miami, Florida. So that's the Doc gets this, and then just about that time, Amber, you touch the plane down. You get clearance to land. Mexico City. You get diverted to a private terminal. You don't have to rub noses with all of the commonplace flights, and you're able to kind of disembark. There is still a private security, and as this is not the United States. Quantum Black does not have their fingerprints all over everything the same way here that they do in the United States. So as you land, there is kind of like a checkpoint that you have to go through, but it's pretty loose.
I definitely have my armory is concealed within the plane. Like, I feel like that would have happened for international travel purposes.
Do you want to spend a style point and just ask Zigbot to stand guard in the plane instead of in Montana? I don't know if Zigzag would do that, but that would be funny.
Zigzag, could we have a bot in the plane?
I mean,
get to Pi.
I was gonna say, I will say, if any text messages or phone calls go through to Zigzag, asking him, an automated response would show up saying, "This person is on vacation. Please try again when they're not on vacation."
Okay.
So that'll be a no for the bots. So no one will be here to guard the plane unless you do want to use the autopilot feature to have it fly away. If you don't want to leave it here.
Do we have like some sort of lock? Like,
yeah, you can just have the plane locked up if you don't want people to access it. That's fine too.
Amber can also set up some kind of alarm system with knockout gas. You know how she did for the car?
you know that leaves like the worst smell inside of a room, and it has to be professionally cleaned to get that smell out? That's a horrible idea. We should use something else instead.
Electrify the whole plane. I don't think you have the resources to do that. Okay, so you land though, and I presume you all want to take your gear. I will need to know what your characters are carrying with you guys from this point on in Mexico.
In Mexico?
Mm-hmm. Until you resupply. So far in the past, you've been going from safe house to safe house, mission to mission, but here you're a little bit further away. So I need to know what you're carrying on you, and I'll be loosely tracking what you use and what you don't use until things might run out or you have to resupply. That may come up during the duration of this arc.
Amber has her sniper rifle in a case, but of course she'll carry her
which
train.
Which rifle is it?
She's gonna be her Dragonov.
Okay, the Dragonov.
The Remington she'll probably have kept at their safe house.
Okay.
For the time being.
So if you can, I'll do it for you for that. But just mark like an X if you're carrying a weapon with you, and keep in mind carrying capacity. Just be reasonable, like what you can take. Like, obviously not 5 long guns and ammunition for everything.
Yeah, she's of course got her couple handguns and the trank gun, and her personal weapon. The one that has the taser affixed to it.
Okay. And
that's in another case.
For anybody else who's kind of got, like, I guess Jess is kind of the only other one who's a weapons heavy person.
Yeah, I would have my silenced Beretta and my silenced automatic sniper rifle, and I would have gotten that in a custom-made case that has like the sniper rifle with like a guitar.
Guitar case. That's awesome.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a stop point for that. That's cool.
And of course she's gonna have her gear.
So
actually, it's gonna be a cello, not a guitar, because I'm Asian. It needs to be a cello.
Amber's will be a guitar.
So
and Amber has her backpack with gear.
For extra magazines, basically.
Oh, Tori carries it, by the way.
Okay. Well, I'll come up with kind of a tracking. It's not going to be probably too impactful for this session, but I will be needing to know how many mags you have. And for if anyone doesn't really know the capacity of what their gun holds or anything, I'll look it up and I'll check. And you can have 4, 6 mags, whatever kind of is reasonable for it. Pistols, obviously, like it's actually cool because Graves and Jess have the same Beretta, so you could mag share. I didn't think of that until just now. Go Italian pistols.
Yeah.
Berettas.
So you get to the checkpoint. The guard is on duty is going to go through your stuff unless you do something about it.
Yeah, I just get out money and hand it to him.
Okay. Roll a wealth check plus admin.
Oh.
So admin
geez,
plus
this
wealth,
will be
rather.
Really difficult. Where's my wealth? I don't know if that's actually a stat, Adrian.
So roll admin plus wealth. So for Jess, that is plus 8 on your admin check, please.
Excellent.
Actually, that brings me to a question. Do you think the doc would have requisitioned the like carry permits, like so that like they could have arms without being hassled too much?
You could try to do that, yeah, if you wanted to. You do roll a requisition check for that? Since you're not in the city yet, I want to make a retcon style point.
Also, I'm not trying to go in all that hot. I'm not bringing in Tiamat.
I just figured the handguns and my basic weapon and sniper rifle are what I'm going to need. Especially for making a getaway, taking out someone heavy.
Yeah, so with 5 successes, that's actually even more than you would have needed. So instead of it being like Mexico police badges that you're able to take, you get like DEA badges or something, U.S. Marshals or something, and that's recognized in Mexico, so you're able to carry weaponry based off of being U.S., which is a little bit more weighty than just the local police. So yeah, you all have those badges, the 5 of you. And yeah, Jess, you hand over a wad of cash, and the guard just kind of like takes it without a blink of an eye, and just kind of like ushers you past and kind of waves and says, "Hola, señor. Hola, señorita. Welcome to Mexico City," and just doesn't check anything. Morthos passes by without any problems, luckily, because in your bag you have a jug of blood.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
So you pass customs, and we go back to the airport, where Graves, you are waiting on a baggage claim. The guard kind of looking next to you. He is looking at his watch, looking around. You've been waiting a little bit, like the last of the luggage is kind of coming out. Nothing seems to be really happening. Roll an empathy check, Graves.
Sure. Empathy.
You can tell that he's like nervous, like his body language is almost like to his buddies in the police or customs. It's like, put up the baggage back. Come on, put the baggage back. I need you to put the baggage back. But nothing's happening. He's starting to be like nervous, and he's gonna put his hand briefly on your shoulder. He's like, one moment, please. I need to go speak with my compatriots, and he begins to separate you from you and go talk to one of the other security guards.
So the baggage is slowed down, it's not coming?
No, the baggage is still continuing to go, but like you get to the point where the aircraft has been unloaded, and so there's like not much more baggage coming out of the little trolley thing. So it's like you've been waiting here this whole time for your gear, and nothing's come out.
And I don't see my gear.
No, your gear has not showed up.
But
the guy is going to talk to another guard, and has left you kind of here. He's 30-40 feet away, so it's not like he's running away or anything, but it looks like he's trying to do it with a 5 empathy. It's probably like they took your gear, we're going to look through it and maybe bully you or try to fine you or do something like incarcerate you, maybe cause you trouble. This kind of stuff is not terribly uncommon in this area.
Can I would like to go up to them Yeah, I know it's not uncommon. I know they hassle people. This is knowledge to me. So I would like to go up to, the guard I was previously with and who he's talking to. And I would like to say, in Spanish, of course, kind of going off of my previous negotiations or persuasion, I would like to say, if either of you can get my gear to me, and he'll kind of look at his watch on his wrist, like he's going to do the John Wick. It has the backwards watch.
Stop.
And he's going to say, if either of you can get me my bags, let's say within the next 10 or so minutes, there'll be a pretty nice payday in it for you. And he's just going to kind of stand there looking at the watch, kind of tapping his foot.
Roll another, I think it's diplomacy. If you have ranks in intimidation, at least 4 dice in intimidation. You can add synergy because that's kind of a polite threat.
I do not have intimidation. I have persuasion.
Okay.
But
I'll give you a +1 on the roll. Instead of +2, I'll give you half.
Okay, well, I will...
cleverly worded.
I will also put in 2 style points. So +3.
Okay. They apologize profusely, and the secondary officer, who's not the one that was with you, he goes off into one of the back offices to go investigate, see what the trouble is. And the other one says, "We will get to the bottom of this, I assure you. Here, please, let's go back to the offices, and we'll find the bags, and we'll make sure everything is all set up." And they would like to, take you back to the office. But they seem to be like trying to fix a problem that they caused for themselves by doing this to you. Like, you're obviously an easy target. The same way poor Edward, who doesn't speak Spanish, he was kind of pulled out pretty easily. But you're a little bit more of a problem for them, and now they're trying to backtrack on it. Is what you're getting.
Yeah, Graves is just going to politely say, 10 minutes? Yes. How about I just take a seat over there and get this all sorted out?
He nods. Sure. And
he'll find a random airport seat.
Yeah, just opposite the baggage claim, just watching the empty trolley as like the other flight people take their bags with no problems. Back up in the lobby, not the lobby, but the office. Edward, have you tried to leave or no? Are you just waiting?
Have I seen anyone else walk by?
Just your view looks out onto like the whole, like all the tables and the checkpoints and people coming through. So you're seeing just the mass of the airport just move. There's not so much people crossing. Like, you noticed Graves go by with that officer. He hasn't come back. It's been like another couple minutes, 5 minutes. So you've been in there for maybe 10 pacing. You got the text from Green. Help is on the way. Do you do anything else, or do you just want to hang out?
Open the door, look for the nearest officer.
Okay. There's one he's more of a police officer rather than one of the border guards, or like the check-in guards. And he kind of looks over at you and kind of steps towards you, not threateningly, but kind of like, "Sí, señor."
All right, I'm getting. I've been in there for 10 minutes. I'm getting a little teased off, you tossers. I'm an English bloke. I'm not just some gringo. I want my stuff, and I want out of here now.
He puts a hand up, and he says, "Calma." I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like, "Calm down." It's okay, sir. Calm down. And he's going to kind of lightly put his hand on like your arm and like try to like help guide you, usher you back into your little office cell. Do you oblige, or
It's like I'll go back in if we deal with this now, but I'm not waiting there. But I'm not waiting there myself any longer.
And he's like, Senor, por favor, por favor. I'm like, please go inside. And as we're seeing this happen, I'd like to imagine in the background, like over that guard's shoulder from behind the desks on the inside of the airport, before all those lines, we see Dr. Desdemona flanked by Morthos and Amber and Jess and Tori kind of in the back, all walking up in like slow motion in sunglasses. I don't know. You tell me what you guys all look like as you're stepping onto the scene.
Amber very much looks like Men in Black. With her, like, she's got that, like, full suit. Actually, no, that's Matrix Amber. So she's kind of got that, like, billowing jacket, black leather, looking like a badass.
High boots and sunglasses.
And she also has some shades on, too, yeah. The sunglasses.
How about Doc?
The Doc looks very clean cut, you know, in his like business attire. He is wearing sunglasses, but it's not for the like, oh, I think it makes me look cool kind of thing, but because like, you know, he's actually preventing people from looking into his eyes.
That is a good point, and I'm giving you a style point. I forgot about that for this game. Honestly.
What face is the Doctor wearing today?
Like, he hasn't changed his face in a while. It's the same face that he's been wearing with the scars and all that.
How about Morthos on Doctor's flank?
He is definitely wearing sunglasses because he thinks it makes him look cool.
Amber totally told him to wear shades because it'll make him look cool.
He would take that very sincerely. Would be like, got it.
Is it the type of shades where you just push them up and it glints?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Anime shades.
In fact, Amber even got him a pair.
The ones that you press the button and the light turns on.
Yes.
The anime.
Only these actually just do it.
Have you seen those?
Yeah. How about you, Jess? What does Jess look like?
I mean, she has her roller bag. She has sunglasses, but she's using them more as a headband than actual sunglasses because we're inside. So, yeah.
How about Tori? Or what? Any clothing gear?
I mean, she's wearing like jeans and like a cardigan that kind of hides her silenced pistol in her back carry, and Tori has the cello case and his roller bag,
Carrying everything.
I also have a purse. Yeah, my lipstick and some spare mags.
So at this point, Edward, you see this quintet. Is that what it would be called? Pentet of Quantum Black agents are approaching. And Doc, you probably know, based off of what Green told you about where their offices are, you have Edward's photo. In fact, Doctor, Green would have sent you the photos of both Graves and Agent Sarah Glover as well. So you have 3 people's photos. So these are the 3 agents that you are looking for.
Do I see Mr. Dubay causing issues with the security guard screaming and whatnot?
Mr. Dubay, what do we see you do? Are you how rambunctious are you getting?
Not like screaming, but he's definitely being he's being a little forceful, demanding to be get this issue taken care of now. Get me. I'm here to meet Jorge. Get me Jorge now.
And the guy is just like, Senor, por favor, go inside, you please. We'll be right with you. And
I'll go inside when Jorge gets here.
And you all arrive to this encounter.
The Doc would walk up and pull out like the DAA badge or whatever and be like, he's one of ours.
Okay. Do you speak Spanish, Doctor?
I do not.
I
When
would
I
be
speak
his
English,
translator.
Oh yeah, that's a thing too. I was just going to use Google Voice, but we do have Morthos indeed.
I am the translator. Yes.
So, Morthos, you begin to kind of like parrot into Espanol what the doctor is saying, but it doesn't look like the guard, who's just like a police officer style guard. He's not like even one of the border guards, but he sees the DEA badge while you're kind of talking, and he kind of like, oh, and he like unhands Edward. Not that he was doing it roughly, but he was like kind of holding your arm, and he lets go of you, and kind of steps away, now facing the doctor and kind of Morthos. Edward, you see the party.
That's better, you formless twit. I take it you're the bloke I'm here to see, Jorge.
Do you say that to the doc?
Yeah.
My name's not Jorge.
I don't think.
Hey guys, I will be right back. I have to clean up the food that Judge just knocked to the floor.
All right, no worries. I'll take it from here for if you need me to. So yeah, go ahead.
Obviously, this guard doesn't speak English very well.
No, it may be broken English, but he's more receptive to being in Spanish for sure.
And then I'll tell to the very confused Brit, I believe that we are here to release you from whatever roadblock was stopping you from doing whatever you need to do, but I don't believe we are part of your team. And I look at the doctor, are we?
You associate to Mr. Green?
Oh.
The doc would like give this mean mug look when Green's name is tossed out, but like we'll be like, you could say that.
The guard is pretty much kind of like separated with Morthos, kind of talking him down. And Edward, you're free to like get out of the room at this point. Like they've moved the opening away so you can step out. And then the camera kind of like turns and goes down the escalator down to the baggage claim where Graves is sitting. What do we see? It's only been a couple minutes.
Graves is still just patiently waiting there. He's keeping his eye on the guards, making sure that his gear's brought. You know, he's tapping his foot every now and then, checking his watch.
Yeah, 2 guards come out, and a third, just a kind of a airport attendant, come following, and they are holding more bags than you had previously, but your bags are among them, and they bring it up in sec. And in perfect English, the one of the police officers says, Mr. Graves, this is, I believe, your baggage. We apologize. There were items in there that caught our attention, but it has been cleared. It looks like there was a simple misunderstanding. You are cleared. Welcome to Mexico City. And he hands you your duffel pack. I believe you had 2 duffel packs, right?
I did.
And then on top of that, the airport attendant tries to give you another duffel bag, which is not yours. Edward, what does your duffel bag look like?
Guess we haven't really thought about much. It would definitely have a large rifle case next to it with it. Guess I haven't looked up in the kind of a style for British military stuff.
No, it's just big long gun. Like it's a big bag, right? Not like just
yeah.
So they pass this all to you, Graves, unless you protest.
I would definitely look through each and every bag to make sure everything's there.
Yeah, the police officers are trying not to like make it look like you're causing a problem, but so they kind of like try to stand in front as people are just generally walking by. It looks like your gear is intact.
Okay, and then I'll look at this third one.
Okay. Edward, do you have like your name or any documentation that this belongs to you in there?
Yeah, I would probably have a tag on it with its name. I don't know. He's retired military. It may not be. So it probably wouldn't have like a military ID on it.
But it's
it
a hunting rifle. It's
Yeah.
yeah, a very nice piece of glass on it, an optic. Definitely not something that was yours though, Graves.
Yeah. Can I spend a style point to say that there's a large wad of cash in my duffel that I can take out?
Yeah, sure.
I'll do that. I'll go back to my duffel after opening, like peeking inside this third one. But I'll go back to my duffel and I'll pull out a large wad of cash and I'll hand it over to, if I have enough to mix between the guards, I'll do that. And as I'm like shaking the hand of one of the guards, I'll say, and if I'm talking to the one who's speaking English, I'll say, thank you for the warm welcome. This one's not mine. Make sure it gets to the right person.
The guy takes the cash, kind of with a more of a hesitant thing. Where he's like, "Just trying to keep Mexico safe, senor." And then he'll put it in his pocket, and then he'll frown at the things like, "This was not yours." And then he speaks to the original officer, who is like, points up the stairs. Is like, "Oh, he's in the office," he says in Spanish. And they're like, they sigh. Police, follow me. And then the two guards, not the attendant, just the two police, are gonna try to lead you up the stairs.
I've said, thank you for welcoming me to your great city. Graves is gonna take his gear and say, look at his watch again and say, I think our business has been transacted, my friends. I have elsewhere to be if you don't mind.
Roll another diplomacy, please.
Okay. I will put a style point into this.
Okay. They do not seem to halt you. Like they just take the bag that was Dubay's, and they're gonna end up just letting you kind of exit back out into the taxi strip, where you can blend in back into the city. However, well, do you wish to?
He would. I think I was just gonna say, as Graves, gets out of the situation, duffel bag. He would open his backpack, which he had with him. He brought it on the plane with him. He would pull out the Raptor cell phone, and he'll send a message to the person who requested the George or Jorge, however it's pronounced. He'll send a message to them saying, arrived, send me your coordinates, on my way.
Okay. So you send that out. There's no response. Are you standing outside the airport now? Kind of like in this, again, it's a taxi strip where cars can just kind of drive by, pick up, or whatever. Open air? Or are you staying inside the airport?
No, he would be outside. He'd probably finish this message as he steps outside.
Okay. So you send the message. Meanwhile, back up on the top of the stairs, two security guards, including the one that locked Edward in that room previously, are approaching with your luggage. The police officer, Morthos, has kind of talked to enough to where he kind of disappears. The DEA badge was enough to kick him out. So, Edward, you're kind of amidst Amber, Jess, Tori, and the doctor, and Morthos. And when you see the people coming up with your baggage.
Be right back, but I gotta see a bloke about a bag. That's mine.
Yeah, he is already handing it over to you, so I presume you snatch it still. It's like, pardon, and they just kind of wave you off. They don't do anything else to you. They kind of see the others and they look kind of curiously, but they are not going to bother you anymore, and they kind of let you go. And you're at your freedom to do what you wish. Quick question for the doc. Is that to all team members or just one? Because you know there's 3 assigned.
Right. Well, to the ones that he knows of, at least.
Okay. So the ones, because you've reviewed now the mission orders, correct? Is that what you're doing?
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay.
Wait. So, wait, was I given, like, what their mission is?
I mean, you're rank 5. If you log in under mission controls credentials, you can look at the mission that they were sent on. You're rank 5.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Yeah, I'm doing that.
So, I presume you kind of separate a little bit from everybody else just so you can focus while the stuff is going on in this busy place. You can see that Team Dragonfly was assigned to Mexico City to kind of find out why, get samples, figure out if it needed to be stopped, but essentially investigate where undead had been sighted, mainly from like graves, and especially like in more of the villages and stuff where undead have been climbing up out of the ground from graves and causing problems. In your history on Quantum Black, specifically within Team Corvidae, before you were this high ranked, you all did do a mission it was more like a tech story, but you had gone into a graveyard once and had to fight actual undead, not Z-Virus undead. So you're not strangers to this. This isn't the first time you have heard of this kind of zombie. But Team Dragonfly was dispatched, and then they reported in with a request for assistance to Mission Control, reporting 2 KIAs and 1 wounded out of their team of 5. And so Quantum Black Mission Control, not you, but one of the other Mission Controls, I forgot what they were called, but like one of the people on Mission Control reassigned and pulled 3 different Quantum Black agents to send to resupply or like replenish the team Dragonfly. And so these 3 team members, Edward Dubay, which you've now made contact with, Jackson Graves, codenamed the Necromancer, and another Quantum Black agent, Sarah Glover. They have all been assigned here to meet up with the previous team member. Those team member names, because you have access to the report, team lead was Hobbs, their ranged combatant was Edwin, the occult expert was Helena, the team face was Jorge, and the team investigator was Danica.
Alright, so the doc, being smart enough to kind of put 2 and 2 together, that their interests kind of align here, that if they're studying undead and we're looking for a book of the undead, we're probably going to intersect at some point anyways. We might as well, like, get together and move forward as a group. So, he would, text the 3 members off of the guise of Mission Control that, you know, to, like, meet up in a location or whatever.
Okay. So, Edward, you've just taken your backpack or your duffel bag back when your phone rings. It's not from Green, it's from Mission Control, and it reads, to rendezvous with Dr. Desdemona of Team Corvidae, debrief him on your mission, and report for duty with them as opposed to Jorge. Is that kind of the gist?
Yeah.
Graves, you're standing out on kind of the sidewalk area. Roll perception.
Sure. Gladly.
Okay. So your phone kind of buzzes, and at the same time, probably maybe 20 feet over from you, another gal, her phone buzzes, and you kind of both look down at your phones. You notice her, because she's kind of wearing fatigues also. Not full on like military, but you can tell that like kind of khaki combat boots and stuff like that. Kind of the same military-esque type of apparel. She kind of looks around, doesn't really... I mean, her eyes land on you for a little bit, but she's looking for somebody else too. And your text message also reads the same as Edward's.
Do I have is there a rendezvous location?
Doc, where
I
do you
figured. Noticing that Edward was still in the airport, he would assume that if they're not at the airport, that they're close by, and so probably outside of the airport.
So yeah, so you're basically already like over there then, where the meeting is. It's like across the walkway or whatever. Sarah Glover also kind of looks over like she's reporting for duty, and at this point she's looking at you, Graves. Like, I think maybe you're one of the team, but doesn't say anything at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Graves would just find a bench, and he's not going to full gear up. Like, he's not going to throw his M4 over his shoulder, but he will take any extra gear out of his pack that he wasn't already wearing and throw it on.
Okay. So
To definitely get that more, like, I am military look.
as you're kitting up, the team upstairs, what do you all do? Edward, what do you do?
Not knowing that, the doc. I don't think the doc gave his name yet. Has he? Did I miss it? If he did.
No, not yet. No.
So he doesn't know that the doc is the one that just sent the message. So he would say, "Well, something seems rather dodgy, but I've got my orders. Thanks for the save, mate."
Just happened to be at the right place at the right time.
And again, not knowing that this why they kind of have the look of the pot, not knowing that they're the ones he's supposed to meet, he will start making his way towards the rendezvous point.
Amber, Jess, Tori, Morthos, and the doc. What do you do?
I would probably go to Morthos. Wait, we're in Mexico City. We're not where we need to be specifically.
No.
Could we
need-
not fly in there?
There was a reason for going to Mexico City. I forgot to say it, and I'm just gonna say it's because the doctor got that mission control assist request. It's a divert.
Okay.
flight. I don't know. Otherwise,
Plot
it'd be like-
devices.
Yeah. I feel like Amber would be
I'm gonna
securing
spend 15
vehicles.
style points to say that.
Because
Sorry, go.
we got unloaded like we were gonna go somewhere here. Otherwise, I don't think it would be necessary for me to even get out of the plane.
That's fair. But I'm spent all my style points to hand wave that plot hole.
Okay. Okay.
Amber is basically procuring the vehicles.
Can we just get back in the plane and fly closer to where we need to go?
If
So
that's
you have to actually ask that.
Are we gonna fly there? Okay.
The doc would say there's a couple of people that we're rendezvousing with first.
Lovely. Now they get to go right back through airport security.
Formless idiots.
Continuing on.
All right. Out of character, pausing for a second. I'm gonna give you all style points because I've actually had a lot of fun, with this sort of getting everybody together part. I hope it's been okay. But yeah, as you go outside, or do you go outside, to rendezvous with Graves, Edward?
Mm.
and stuff?
He would go outside since that's where his mission control had sent his new rendezvous point at.
Oh wait, real quick. Sorry to interrupt. Are we just getting back on Jess's plane after this?
It depends on what you want to do. So they had orders to rendezvous with Jorge from their team, and they have one. Well, I don't know. It's Graves actually, I think, has the most information on kind of their orders, kind of having been a team lead before.
Alright, never mind. Because, like, otherwise it was going to be like, you know, instead I would retcon that, like,
And just have
you
them
know,
go
where
down.
to meet us to get, yeah. But if, like, there's something that they need to do here, like, we might as well
Yeah.
get it done.
So it depends
Okay.
on if you want to accomplish that goal or just go straight to Guatemala to try to meet up with Amos.
I don't know. I kind of figure at the end of the day, like, we might actually get some information about what's going on from the person that they're trying to meet that could lead into beneficial in the long run. So I like, you know.
So out of character, what do you all want to do? Or Graves, do you want to tell them any other the information that you're aware of regarding it? Or
Well,
How
out
do you
of
think?
character, Graves is by the books. You know, he will listen to orders. He is waiting here. However, he also knows that there are some injured people waiting on him, and he came to help them. So he's going to look at his watch after gearing up more, and if 10 minutes go by with no one arriving to say anything, he's getting in a cab and going to the village. Healing people is priority,
do you
and making sure they live.
try to make contact at all with Edward or Sarah? They're kind of the same. After a couple minutes, you can tell that you're all in the same boat. Like, the masses around you are getting into taxis, moving around, getting picked up by family and leaving. After 5 minutes, you're the ones that are all kind of sitting there in different areas with big gear, looking very kind of military looking.
I
And-
think, yeah, if Graves, when he's, you know, waiting down the clock and gearing up, if he sees the other two, he would, you know, throw them a whistle and give them a head nod, like, you know, get over here.
He would ask, "You were an insect. What kind of insect would you be?"
The fuck kind of question is that?
It's a
I
very
get it,
relevant
I know.
question, actually.
It is
Why do I imagine that that's like around the time, like, I could see the doc walking up and being like a bombardier.
I feel like that actually is where you would walk up and answer the question he asked.
That's perfect. So yes, that happens. But also, I gave Edward a style point because that's really smart on how to like try to identify if you're on the same team.
Well, he's looking for Team Dragonfly. Did anyone say Dragonfly? Or is Bombardier the only thing he gets back?
So Fox, do you want to roll Sarah's intelligence and see if she thinks about that?
Sure.
Being a team lead, Graves wouldn't respond because there's still civilians around. He's not going to openly answer that.
Sarah does though, and she says, "I'm feeling like a dragonfly today. Why? What about you?"
Yeah, but Dragonfly's a good Dragonfly's a good insect. Very fast, and agile.
Ah,
She looks at Graves, and the doc you come out, and I don't know if the team else is behind you.
Amber would be with her.
If they're still
Flanking the dock.
walking up, yeah, if they're walking up before Graves answers, Graves would just the others would probably hear him say, "I'm feeling like I'm the type of person who wouldn't openly say that."
Amber, roll perception.
Alright, give me a second to scroll all the way back up. Oop.
So a 2's enough. even from the back, she looks pretty familiar, but as soon as she kind of like is turning to kind of notice the doctor and you guys all approaching, you see Sarah Glover. You're probably quite shocked to see her because you haven't seen her in like 5 or
she
6
just
years.
says to herself, how is she still alive?
Um,
Anyone around, any from the team could hear Ember saying this. If they're close enough. But there is definitely a look of shock and surprise on her face right now. Even behind the sunglasses.
Yeah, she doesn't notice you, unfortunately. Doctor, as you're leading the team up, do you say anything to them? These 3 amigos?
I think at that point he would walk up and like look at them and like he's seen their files, right?
Yeah, you can ID them all from their files.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the doctor would walk up and be like, I think we're supposed to meet each other here.
But also, while Amber is there as well, before Sarah turns around, Amber says, the desert seems pretty hot today. This is something Sarah Glover would recognize.
She's looking
The
over
saying
at you.
and the voice.
Yeah, she
like,
looks...
basically before she turned around to see Amber.
As she does, she's like, Fox?
And Amber will remove the sunglasses with a shit-eating grin. The one and only.
She kind of like blinks, but then the doctor is also, I think we're supposed to meet each other, and she kind of like stands almost to like attention and kind of nods. Are you Jorge? Or the... And she looks at her text message. What did you send? Or the doctor?
I am definitely not Jorge.
Ah.
You have 2 hearts?
I have a couple hearts in my fridge, actually.
Amber just kind of, like...
That's amazing.
Is just still smiling because she knows it's true.
I guess
I told you everybody
she-
would have a fridge in their room. It's just a matter of what do they put in it.
Amber actually says it's funny because it's true. Because I feel like she would know the doctor well enough to know that it's true.
I feel like that point Morthos would kind of conceal the bag a little bit more, like...
Graves, very quickly. What did you text to the Jorge on the number?
Graves would have texted, I've landed. Send me your coordinates so I can meet you.
Okay. And what device did you use that on? You said that was a radio, or was that...
He used his QIC Raptor cell phone.
Got it. So you get a message back with the coordinates. It says QB airstrip local. SOS. Couldn't make it to airport. Signed, not Jorge. It's the other person.
Oh boy, I'm going to the names.
Danica. It would have been Danica.
Danica, okay. So, I almost said Zigzag. So Graves will quickly look at this message back and look at everyone else. And still with like the air of being used to being a team lead, he'd just look at everyone and say, I appreciate this conversation, but it seems shit's fucked up. We gotta get moving. And he's gonna try and snap for a taxi.
So another Tuesday.
Question. How much of this dude does Jess know, like? Are we going to another airport? Is it the same airport that evidently Greaves is wanting to go to?
things are happening a little fast. I think you'd follow along that you're, like the doctor said, you're picking up some people. By the looks of them, they're like definitely more agents of QB. Maybe another team kind of can assume that much. If you look to Morthos, I need you to roll a supernatural lore check for me.
Yeast.
And then I'm gonna also have you add the bonus +2 because you're cosmic sensitive.
Can I don't know if this is just an innate thing that is happening to Morthos right now, but Graves is also he's not cosmic sensitive, but he does have cosmic supernatural lore, if that would ping anything. Like if he would.
Hold on, let me check what you've got.
Yeah, he doesn't have the cosmic sensitive flaw, I think it is, but he is for some reason.
Oh, you've got so that's a skill. That's
Okay.
probably because if you copied it over from the old character sheet, supernatural lore, a subset of skills you can specialize in is in cosmic.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's going to be a lore skill versus Morthos is actually cosmic sensitive as a talent. So he's very attuned to the magic. And with a 2, you're not getting any alarms. In the airport with this many people, you probably do pick out that there's a couple of the animal people, the Vessin, just going about. They're like normal people, but they have this magical disguise covering their animal face, and they just look normal humans to everybody else. But you can see through a couple of them if you're close enough, and you spot just some random people from Mexico City. One's driving a cab, which you could flag that one down if you want. If you want to spend a style point and have a Vessin driver, I don't mind that. Is Graves's.
Maybe that. So I got like 7 of those.
Yeah, you're building them up. You're catching up to Dicebot.
Yeah, I need to not forget about them as normal.
So you see Graves flag down this taxi driver, and he looks like a possum man to you. He's got kind of whiskers, but to everybody else, he's just got like this very thin, fine mustache. But nothing like out of your normal. Like you've seen these all the time in cities, like as just part of the population. Nobody else notices that. But Jess, to answer your question, he mentioned something about an airstrip, and he's got coordinates on his phone, and he seems to be very quickly trying to flag the taxi down. But I don't think you know like exactly what's going on with their mission unless the doctor's told that at this point.
Should we just get back on the plane?
That was my thought.
The private one that we can take wherever we want to go.
We would, but I think our missions align here.
After the comment about the heart, Edward would said, "It's like I'm asking if you're a Time Lord. You know, the Doctor."
A Doctor Who?
I can't help it. Style point.
Are you the Doctor I'm looking for?
More than likely. Unless there's any other doctors here.
Just ask if there's a doctor in the house.
Hey, Fox.
I'll get your answer.
Fox, where the fuck have you been? Sarah seems to finally be like breaking away from everything that's going on, trying to like sidle up to Amber. Like, how are you here?
I've been around to many places. I thought you were all dead.
She just
I
shakes
thought
her head.
I was the only one who survived.
Before she can answer, the Vessin taxi driver pops the trunk, and Graves is like loading up gear into it. Another taxi gets flagged down because there's too many people for just one. But what is everybody doing? I'm pretty sure Graves is just like getting in.
Yeah, Graves is throwing his stuff into this taxi, and he's gonna open the door and just look at the others and say, We got work to do. You can either come with me now, or we can meet there later. And he's gonna get into the taxi and close the door.
I mean,
The doc would get into the taxi, like reading like the file and knowing that he's usually the leadership kind of role of the teams that he's in. The doctor is gonna like get into the taxi with Graves so
I
that
think
they can
as-
discuss better.
I will also say, I think as a fellow quote-unquote doctor, you would probably recognize the face of urgency on Graves' face.
Or he might not.
if I was
He's
here
never
earlier,
been urgent in his life, other than
Hold on.
like urgently this needs to die. You know.
Hold on. Let me double check your move speed.
Yeah, I would like answers about that, please.
I don't know why it's that. I was expecting you to be a little bit, but dang.
It's 4.
Yeah.
It should be 4, but like today,
got-
for some reason,
It got messed up in your attribute abilities tab. It should be fixed now. No, still not? Okay.
now it's 0.
Yeah, that's because I put 0 instead of nothing. There's fixed. Hey, your move
Okay,
got
hey, you-
faster. It used to be so much worse.
So what I was gonna say is, if I was here earlier, then when they were dealing with getting the whole customs thing dealt with, Amber would have been procuring a vehicle.
You did say that actually, and I think we were just all talking. So yeah,
So
you've
she
got
would've-
like a van then, or
Yeah.
probably an
So
SUV.
she would have Sahara, aka Sarah, with her and anyone else from the party who wants to join, and would follow behind the taxi.
Yeah, Sarah wants to
Well,
talk to you.
Sarah's the only one who has confirmed that they're the person I'm supposed to be meeting, so I'm following Sarah. No one else wants to bloody confirm the identity.
It's a quantum black thing. She's going to assure to you as she will let you in. She wants to drive shotgun next to Amber though.
Oh,
So-
absolutely. That's what Amber was expecting.
So if you're going in the SUV, so the doc I
Jess?
think has told Jess that this is a mission that we want to be going on. So unless Jess is going to go back to her plane.
Jess was gonna go get in the front seat in the taxi with the people, and Tori's probably gonna ride behind him.
Okay.
So Tori jumps in with Edward, Jess goes in with Graves, and Doc goes in the back seat with Graves, and there's like a random guy driving the possum dude. What about Morthos?
And Morthos was probably with us too.
Are you squeezing in next to the Doc in the dock?
Yes.
Whenever I see Graves in the dock, like not actually like talking about like what's going on, but writing in doctor shorthand that only doctors seem to be able to read, and just passing it back and forth.
Jess pulls out a bag of chips from her purse and starts eating them. Pringles, specifically.
Of course. As the taxi takes off, Graves would probably start saying, listen, I was sent here to reinforce some folks, and it doesn't sound good for them. What I just got wasn't a message from the person who originally messaged me. So I think we may be rolling up to a dead zone. I'll do my best to patch up who I can, but it sounds like most of them are gone.
A dead zone, you say? He would like kind of like pat at his like medical bag and be like, "Well, we're prepared for that."
Good, so am I. I brought extra.
Jess in her head is thinking, somehow I don't think they're talking about the same thing. You know, whatever form of preparedness they have.
Graves, roll an empathy check. And Doc, I'm not going to have you roll because your stats aren't going to support that. Graves, you can see, I mean, you see the scars on the doctor's face, the doctor, you've controlled your issue from Korea very well. Are there any signs left in your eyes or your any other forms of your visage that might still show any sort of oddity?
He's definitely like paler than normal. I would say that he like never is like in public. He's not ever removing his sunglasses, so he's like trying to hide his eyes as much as possible. But like, I'm sure that there's other signs that a trained medical profession would be able to be like, this person might be sick. Well, a psychologist would probably tell you the same thing too, actually.
That's why he doesn't like the therapist.
So, yeah, Graves, you can tell that maybe there's... You can't tell that he's sick or anything from that, but he's like concealing his eyes, stuff like that. There's just... Maybe it's just a quirk from the doctor, but you pick up on something with that.
He's just gonna make note of it in his head and continue explaining the situation to them. You know, I was sent here to reinforce. If you're here to reinforce the reinforcements, then things are even more fucked up than what I was to believe.
Morthos. The taxi driver leans back and asks you, where are you guys going apart from just out of the city?
Is he asking me in Spanish?
Yeah. I don't know. Actually,
Yeah,
Graves speaks Spanish. So actually, Graves, did you told him?
Yeah, Graves would have given him the directions in Spanish and said, get there, get us there on the double.
Yeah. So long as you don't you both speak Spanish, I don't need Morthos to translate for that. And then Amber, you're just following from the back.
Yep.
Okay. In your car, Tori and Edward are kind of sitting in the back seat, and it's probably like when people in front of you are just like talking about stuff, very like ignoring you in the back seat. It's just kind of awkward. It's kind of like that because Sarah and Amber are starting to talk, and Sarah's asking what happened.
Completely forgetting that they're back there.
Yeah, it's like you don't exist anymore.
Yeah,
Honestly,
pretty much.
I don't even know if Tori actually picked up on the question that he asked. Does your character re-ask the question to Tori?
For Edward?
Yeah. Eric.
What question did you ask him? I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
Do you ask me if I would be an insect, what insect I would be?
At this point, he just missed. Because you weren't at the call to the meeting point. I mean, you guys showed up eventually, but
honestly, we didn't even get that information.
Yeah, I know. But
so, do you have any idea where we're going? Tori would ask to you as the girls are just going off on whatever they're going off on.
Old war stories.
No, I was told to meet someone here, and then told to meet someplace else. And Sarah's the only one there who has properly identified, who seemed to identify that they're the one I'm supposed to meet. So, although I can kind of assume you might be from the same neck of the woods, part of the world.
Probably. We got rerouted, and I have no idea where we're going now, but the person in charge seems to be knowing where we're going, so...
Where's the person in charge?
I mean, in front of us. He's referring to Jess, but probably also the doctor.
That makes sense.
I saw you with that bloke that helped me out of security, but he said he wasn't who I was looking for, and then he failed to identify himself outside the airport.
I'm gonna roll a quick perception to see if Amber catches what he says. or if she's too engrossed in this conversation.
Sure.
She's
I
probably
just say it
super
too. Yeah.
engrossed.
No.
Oh yeah,
wow.
no, they don't. Those two don't exist in the backseat. She doesn't
Yeah, we
realize they're
don't
there.
exist to you right now. I would be like, we probably came here for you if we got rerouted. He's he's good at being in charge and is in contact with people, so probably. I don't remember your question. I got distracted. I don't actually remember your question.
So is the one you were with the doctor, Dr. Amos Desdemona?
Yes, Desdemona.
Oh, finally some identification. Yeah. So I was supposed to meet up with him. Honestly, I'm not sure what the job entails, but
Well, what the jobs usually entail is probably something along the lines of that. Something needs to be shot. Something needs to be fixed. You know.
I'm good with the first one. Edward Dubay, former Royal Marines, big game hunter, survivalist, and survivalist and sharpshooter.
Tarashi Shouma. Most people just call me Tori, though. I hand guns to people, and I shoot things, and I'm very good at driving.
I hand guns to people. Best description of Tori.
Yes.
Shoot people. Occasional, interrogation.
In the front seat, Sarah and Amber are just like completely.
Yep.
Like,
So,
I can't believe you're alive. I thought you were dead.
Amber would ask Sarah what all she knows.
She tells you that after the events in Afghanistan, she remained in the army a little bit after that. She had to be, she was reassigned and stuff, and eventually she got transferred to a completely different branch. And out of that, she never actually exited the service, but she was recruited into Quantum Black and kind of requisitioned by Quantum Black and reassigned into kind of nothingness, and nobody ever really knew what was going on with her from the army. And she's phased completely into Quantum Black and has been an agent working on their teams for the past while.
Kind of the same story then. Last thing I remember was the explosion, thinking everyone in the party, like everyone who went in the building, was killed. And short time after, I got brought into QB on Team Corvidae.
Has she heard of
And-
Corvidae?
Eric, I don't know if you're listening to their conversation. You could probably roll to see if you also recognize that.
We're talking about Afghanistan, and they said quantum. Yeah, they said QB in there, but
They said Team Corvidae, which is the team that we're on.
he's never heard of Team Corvidae. He was supposed to rendezvous with Dragonfly.
Ah. Okay.
So it gets to a point with kind of this chit-chatter, and Edward and Tori are starting to hit it off. Sarah and Amber are catching up. Dr. Desdemona and Dr. Graves. I need to refer to you by your actual names for this.
Right.
Really
Doctor and
confusing.
Graves.
Okay, the doctor and the actual one who heals people.
That seems converted. Though,
Which is funny, which is very funny, because you would think Desdemona would have the moniker the Necromancer and the actual healer wouldn't.
That's funny. No.
It's so inverse.
It's actually kind of perfect if you think about it, because
It
like
really is.
he doesn't want you to know who he is. Like,
Which is funny considering the question I asked in whispers.
I was gonna have you roll for it, and I got distracted. I'm sorry. That's kind of normally the way it would work would be based off of having the talent fame to be able to like hear of other people, and I think Corvidae itself has a reputation within Quantum Black because you're the #1 team that they have. They've got the most mission badges and all that stuff, but it's also not like broadcasted from from team to team for their safety also. I will just have you roll an intelligence check or an investigation check, I think, actually.
I kind of feel like there would be like those boogeyman tales though, like where they'd be like, "Oh, don't fuck up," or Corvidae will be called in, you know?
Yep. Basically, you think the spider teams are bad.
I am gonna put a point into this, and I'm going to ask an interesting question. An investigation. Would I get any bonuses from possibly having his work passed down through the Quantum Black medical facilities?
Yes, on that, because of various reports and stuff, like ingredients, formulas created by Dr. Desdemona. Go ahead and add a +2.
Like you've seen my doctor shorthand before, and like.
All right, so +2. All right.
Add another +2 with craft medicine, because that will synergize with it.
Ooh, okay. So +2, and then a style point, and then another +2.
Doctors are like rogues. We get our own thieves' cant.
Yes, you've heard of the Doctor. You haven't seen him, but you've heard of him. Now you have seen him.
For now.
Yeah, I think recognizing the handwriting and putting 2 and 2 together, Graves would just say to the good doctor, listen, I know who you are. I know the work you do. I haven't led a team in quite some time, so if you want to take over here, no complaints. But I've been sent here to keep everyone alive and patch up those who I can, and I plan on doing that here.
The doctor would put his pride aside for a second, because it's not like he wants everyone in the world to know that, like, you know, he has like rank or anything like that. So he would look at Graves and be like, "No, it's fine. Like, you lead, like, I'll take a backseat on this, only because, like, it's not like your men know who I am, and, like, it would, like, I don't want to, what is that, undermine your authority. I don't want it to, like, look like, you know, like I'm actually in charge here, like he's not going to reveal the fact that they're not actually supposed to be there. But, like, you know, he'll just, like, be like, yeah, don't worry about it.
And, yeah, not knowing you're not supposed to be here, Graves would just put his hand to shake and say, it's an honor to work alongside you.
When he, like, reaches out, the doctor would reach into his medical bag and pull out a plastic glove and put it on and, like, shake his hand back.
And then I think, whispering this time so that only the two of them could hear it, Graves would say, your work is a bit of a legend back at the medical facilities. That's how I recognized you.
No,
I
we're glad to
definitely
hear.
eavesdrop into this whole conversation. Can I just roll to see if I hear this?
Yeah, roll perception. Morthos,
Why
if
do
you
you-
want to also. But Morthos, I'm going to need you to roll a supernatural lore check again with a +2.
question.
I think the doc's only reply to that would be like, is that so? Or like, essentially like, like the concept of like, because he doesn't like when he signs his like work and all that, like on that level, it's always very redacted, where he doesn't take the fame of it, but like he's like interested by the fact that like, someone's actually paying attention to his work.
So
Yeah, and Graves has definitely been paying attention.
Morthos, you can start to sense kind of a darkness in the region as you've exited Mexico City. Now you're just driving down. It's a paved road. It's still like nice, but you're making your way towards more of the outskirts of the city, towards kind of more the countryside, towards just more rural areas, and things seem to be getting a little bit more cosmically disturbed. Sarah, Glover, Amber, Edward Dubay, Tori, you're all following in the SUV. There's no problems for probably, you have about an hour to talk with each other. So Desdemona and Graves, Jess and Morthos, if you want to just kind of listen in, be quiet, everybody can have that hour. But as you start getting into more towards that, closer to the village, the taxi driver stops the car, which kind of causes Amber to stop the car behind as well. And then he turns in his seat. And Jess, I need you to roll a perception check as he kind of is right there in your face a little bit.
I'll re-roll perception. But I did roll it before as well.
Yeah, that was to kind of eavesdrop in, so you could kind of hear Graves whispering to the doctor quietly, just barely enough where you could hear him kind of recognizing the doctor's work. But for this, a 2 isn't really enough to kind of see through his illusory disguise, so he still looks human and Mexican to you. But he says in Spanish, "This is as far as I can go. Please, you can get out. I will collect my fare. You have to make your way on foot. It's about 2 miles up the hills." And he's pointing directions. Morthos and Graves can understand.
Can I sense empathy? Like, is he upset or disturbed? My empathy sucks, though.
I was gonna ask the same thing. Can I? Because I specifically have empathy emotions.
Yeah, you can all roll empathy. Yes. Edward, you are able to load as much as you want. There's no taxi driver in your car, so if you want to get out your, I think it's R700, is it?
Yeah, 700 something.
Yeah.
Remington 700 or something.
Yeah, you can load up, get all your kit together as well. Graves is already kitted up over in his car, and then Sarah, being a shotgun, doesn't have to worry about driving. She can kit up as well. Jess, he is not speaking English even, and so kind of his mannerisms are hard to pick up on. He definitely seems adamant that he's not going to drive any further. Morthos and the Dr. Graves, I should say, you both can tell that, yeah, he is nervous to go past. Dr. Graves even can tell it's almost on the edge of fear to go beyond this way.
Graves will, if he has any leftover cash, he'll hand it to the guy, but he'll also put a hand on his shoulder and in Spanish say, "What's waiting for us up this hill?"
He would tell you. Do you have investigation or persuasion?
He does.
Diplomacy.
He has diplomacy, persuasion, and investigation.
So you can take the highest one and get synergy for them.
Cool. And I do have a rating of 4 in diplomacy. So what am I adding for synergy?
Hold on, let me actually go to Graves' sheet to see myself. So diplomacy is 4, investigation is 6, and what was the third one you said?
No, that was just an investigation.
Oh.
I said I had diplomacy, persuasion, and investigation.
Is persuasion its own skill? Or I think diplomacy.
Persuasion is a specialization of diplomacy.
Okay, did you take that?
Yeah.
I did.
Okay, so you'd get the highest skill with a synergy of the other one. So if its investigation is higher, you'd roll that with a +2 for persuasion.
Okay.
He points up there and he tells you in Spanish, there's been all kinds of problems up in this region. There's been zombies, there's been the undead killing people, there's been the cartels. The police won't do anything. The cartels have been coming out here and trying to exterminate the zombies, but they haven't been successful, and it's just been almost like a war zone up there, and I can't risk it. I'm not going past there. You can go 2 miles, you'll start getting up to the village, but not me. I can't go.
He will put his, keep his hand on his shoulder and say, "Then you've taken us far enough, friend," in Spanish, and he'll look to the doctor, the other doctor, the good doctor, and say, I appreciate you letting me take this one, but your own are your own. If you can tell them to begin gearing up, we got a 2-mile walk ahead of us.
From behind, Sarah.
Do I hear this?
Yeah, you hear it. If Graves says that in English, I presume.
Yeah.
Or I could just get in the car.
Amber would, noticing that they have stopped and haven't been moving for a while, Amber would actually get out and walk up to the driver's side and, kind of peer in and ask what was happening.
If Graves sees this, he would get out and say,
he would have told the others in the car to wait there. Back at the van that they got.
Graves would say, he's not taking us any further. We have a mess up ahead. I think it's best we walk in rather than drive so we don't get ambushed or attacked unexpectedly.
So,
we're gearing up.
This, Jess is going to start stripping down. Underneath her jeans, she had her suit, and she just starts taking her clothes off with whatever looks she's getting. And Tori takes that as a cue for, getting her silent sniper and...
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go stealth suit. So for Eric, Jess is wearing almost like a... not Incredibles, what's it called? The Fantastic Four, like a bluish sort of jumpsuit that kind of shimmers and blends into the background. It's very difficult to... Yeah, exactly. So she's wearing this stealth suit. The taxi driver, if you all get your stuff out, he's going to drive back towards the city.
Should we deal with him, his memory?
Before he leaves, does anyone have a map of this area, either in the SUV or can I buy the map off the taxi driver?
If you want to spend a style point, you can just say you got that in the airport while you were there.
Yep.
Okay.
Before he drives off, Amber will go ahead and neuralize him so that he doesn't remember bringing us up here.
Okay. Roll your...
I think Jackson would stop you. If you aim anything foreign against this guy, he would stop you and let the taxi driver go.
Okay. So Amber, you're pulling out this little black device, and then Jackson, they're kind of holding a hand up, stopping her.
Yeah, and saying in a hushed tone, because the doctor essentially gave Jackson, lead. He's taking the back step. So Jackson would pop up and say, I'm the lead on this. We let civilians be.
Very well. It was just a little bit of memory wipe.
and then I'm just gonna pound on the dude's door like, "Hey, get the fuck out of here."
The taxi flips a Yui, kind of driving over onto the grass on the side of the road to do a full turn, and just starts going back. Sarah Glover is going to get out of the car and kind of like leaning past the door. Is like, "What's the holdup? Are we going or not?"
Gear up, we're walking.
Walking? We got a car.
If you want to run yourself into an ambush, be my guest. But we're walking. Safer. Especially in a large group as us.
Amber will get back behind the wheel and turn the car around so it's facing back the way they came. And then get back out and get her gear ready herself. Faster getaway if needed.
And by now, Graves has his M4 slung over his, chest, classic military style.
I'll go up to Graves with the map. What's our destination?
Do I see the village on the map?
You do. So you see a village.
And the airstrip, I guess.
Spattered out different areas. The airstrip is a little bit further away from the village. It's not like too far off, but it's like in a field, several like farm pastures away. So it's not like right there in the middle of the town, but it's in the vicinity.
He would point towards the airstrip and say, "We have some possibly injured, maybe even dead here. This is our meeting point." But he'll point to the village next and say, "This seems to be a hellhole of different messes. I saw your rifle. Think you could scout for us? See if we have anything up ahead?"
I just needed directions.
Yep. Amber will also be putting her sniper together. And
I already
along
had
with
Tori
her...
do that.
Oh yeah, I mean, after
Amber's
turning the car around,
driving,
she would be get hers together along with her base weapon that has the taser at the end of it. She's got her guns holstered. She'll even pass one of her extra guns to Sarah.
Edward sees Tori hand the gun to Jess, and now he knows who he hands guns to.
In the meanwhile, in the background, the doctor opens up his medical bag and pulls out Constance from underneath of his coat and break actions it open, pulling out a shell that's probably always loaded, that has Latin written on marker on the side of it, back into a bag, and then back into his medical bag, and then pulls out a different shell and loads it in.
Okay, here's my question. Greaves, shall we call you Greaves, sir?
Yes, you can call me Graves, and...
Graves, got it. Should I have Tori on the wheel, or should I have him go pick up the plane, seeing as there's a landing strip for quick extraction?
Keep him with the vehicle. I think it'd be too much of a mess to bring a plane into this if we're already dealing with all that nonsense in the village. And then he would look at Edward, because I don't think Graves has got any names yet. He would look at the three scouty people, the three with the snipers, and he would point towards Edward and Jess, the first two who spoke up, and say, "You two, can you go ahead and scout the village for us?" And then he looks at Amber and just says, "Three's a party, too much."
Looks like you're team lead on this. Edward Dubay, survivalist expert. The woods are my backyard.
Good to meet you. You can call me Graves.
And I will say we'll keep a distance between us heading in the direction of the airport, so that way we keep, separated, but in the same direction, kind of.
Would Jess like some grenades to take with her? In case things get bad.
Jess and grenades. I mean, to be fair, Jess has been blown up a lot. So I don't know how
Yeah.
Jess would fare with a grenade, but Jess and grenades haven't really been a good mix.
My general inclination is no, and it makes me nervous that you have them. So I'm gonna go. Bye.
If Edward and Jess begin walking off, he's gonna turn his wrist, look at his watch, and say, "We'll give them a couple minutes, and then we'll move on too."
Hey, quick question: do they have the Bluetooth earpiece or no?
All team members can have the earpiece. You just have to resync together, which you could do right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
We resync before we head out.
Yeah, everyone sync up.
Bluetooth.
Not Bluetooth, but yeah.
It's like radio,
Earpiece.
radio earpiece, local range.
That way we can keep ears up.
Is it possible for Amber to boost the distance for that, or does there no like range?
It would be military, which I presume is at least a couple miles. So local meaning like you can't fly over to Mexico City and still have it when you're way out here, or like be in Guatemala or whatever. It's like your mission location.
Also, I was curious from the earlier conversations in the car on the way there. Does Sarah recognize the team name?
Corvidae?
Yeah.
She would.
And if she had anything to say about that.
She didn't know you were on Team Corvidae. She's heard of it. She's been jealous of some of the missions that you guys have gone on, but didn't actually know. Specifically one in like Australia that I think there was like some sort of mech thing that you guys fought in a tunnel at one point.
In an interesting reverse of that, I actually want to ask a similar question. The doc has read through all of our files. It seems, out of game knowledge. Has the doctor put two and two together for Jackson's nickname and the team he used to be on? Because he used to be on Team Revenant, and his nickname is the Necromancer.
I'd
Yeah,
just leave that to you, because you
Yeah,
got
because
one.
I'm pretty sure that I could see like the teams that he was in, and I can see that like his file shows him as a doctor, right? So like, yeah, he would put two and two together and figure that, yeah, like, this guy brings people back to life, kind of like how he begrudgingly brings people back to life.
Just in a very different manner. I could imagine. Sorry, just real quick. I could imagine Graves' report and file reading. Of course, in a more fancy, typed up manner. Corporate manner. Team almost died, if not for the medic.
Yeah, and that specific mission of note also provided valuable intel on Dr. Vortex, if I recall. So that mission would have attracted the doctor's attention, yes.
As we're all kind of waiting around, like for if you want to take over with Edward and Jess, because I know I did say Graves would kind of tell everyone just stay put for a couple minutes while they scout ahead.
Yes, so we are going to visit them in a little bit. Actually, right now, Edward and Jess, you're kind of moving forwards together as scouts. Both of you roll stealth and perception.
Just a side note, we are keeping a good distance between us.
Between the rest of the party and each other, or?
Between each other as we move forward, just,
Okay.
Not walking together, but...
I was assuming we could still look over and see each other, but like not like right next to each other.
We'll be right back.
Are you going to the village or to the airstrip?
I was told we were going to the airstrip.
Airstrip.
Okay.
We're
That's-
avoiding the
That's
village.
Tori. Use
Oh,
Jess, please.
sorry. That was Tori's. Well, mine is.
He disappears from everybody's sight.
I'm fine perception. Oh yeah,
Uh,
perception.
Tori has a
of
really
course,
good
yeah.
stealth.
Well, you got him a whiz suit too.
Hold on. Let me add mine.
So Edward,
Let me just. There we go. Wow, Tori's more stealthy than I am.
you're both moving through the moving up the road, kind of off the road and into the brush a little bit. Edward, you see something kind of moving
Wait.
through the brushes. Jess, is your perception wrong, or is that correct?
It looked really wonky. It says an average 2, but it says my perception is 5.
That'd be
So
no, I think
Did
that
I-
is correct. It rolled
Did I
4
do
ones.
weird. Okay. That's
So you don't see the thing moving, but Edward does, and it's probably a good thing that you're both scouting together because it's on Jess's side of the road. I imagine like you're walking each on either side. Edward, roll a sanity check really quick.
Okay, I was also going to mention that he's as a hunter, he would also be looking at for tracks. But let me roll a sanity here first.
Would you inform me that you see something?
Okay, yes. You're not phased. You've seen like battle wounds before in the theater of war wherever you fought. Probably, honestly, it was probably also the war on terror in Afghanistan, Iraq, kind of that area. And you see this torso pulling itself left arm, right arm through the trees and the underbrush. And I just move you all to this page for now. You're not quite to the airstrip yet. But coming up on Jess's path in the underbrush is a human torso clawing its way forwards with a like unhinged jaw, trying to go in, almost like it's gonna try to bite her leg as she gets closer. She does not seem to see it.
I don't know the military terms, but he would get in the comm to say, "Yes, some kind of zombie on to the port or starboard." No, those are boat nautical terms.
Just straight ahead, basically, and send the
Oh, well,
underbrush.
okay, straight ahead.
Yeah, Captain America on your left.
the proper kind of like military terminology of direction.
Could I use my quieter gun to decapitate it? Or would that make a lot of noise to call zombies toward us? Would I notice?
Yeah, as soon as it's pointed out to you, the thing's doesn't have legs, so it is slow enough for you to kind of like get eyes on it, and as soon as you freeze, spot it, you want to switch to your pistol.
Yeah, I feel like the quieter option would be better right now.
Okay.
Well, the other one's more deadly. Would
It's like
even it being
10
silent,
feet away
Come
from
back.
you.
What happened?
Jess
would I
is,
be able to?
up here. Go ahead.
Would I be able to shoot it without it calling all the zombies in my direction? Just. 'cause I know
Roll a
silence is the-
supernatural lore check. If you don't have it, then you can't roll.
I do actually. I have 1 point in it. Maybe I should. I'm gonna add style points to this because I don't have.
Yeah, you're kind of a style dragon right now.
I'm a stylish dragon right now.
So I'm guessing that you guys saw a zombie and
Oh
had to
gosh, that was
roll
awful.
some sanity.
That was awful.
That is drawing on quick
Correct.
history. You were in Korea. There was a lot of zombies. They were attracted to noise. This might be the same way. You draw your gun. It's like about 5 feet away from you, clawing its way, leaking its entrails behind.
Sorry, kids. Could I put it out of its misery? Well, I don't think I have any martial art, do I? I'm just gonna shoot it.
Okay.
Just gonna shoot it. Silently.
Yeah, just go ahead and roll.
Yeah, we're just gonna shoot it. I'm gonna use the quieter gun though.
That is enough to put it around through its head. The little crack of the 9mm does echo a little bit. Silencers don't eliminate the entirety of the sound, but it is outdoor and it's not that bad. Edward, the body doesn't move any longer as it just lays there at Jess's feet. The both of you, what do you do?
And we continue forward, being very careful and very quiet.
Yeah, he would stop for maybe like a minute and kind of just look around, and then before moving on again and scan the area. But yeah, moving on if nothing else seems to be moving.
Did the other team, I feel like, would pick up on our radio chatter. Threat eliminated. Moving forward.
Okay. Noted.
Graves would come over comms and say, understood. We're going to give you a couple more minutes to make your way closer to the airfield before we begin moving up ourselves.
Okay. So following a little bit behind, Edward and Jess are navigating a path that is clear. However, Edward and Jess, as you kind of peer up over the ledge after about that 2-mile hike, you reach the airstrip. What you see is a plane which is parked on the runway. There are also swarms of zombies all around it, trying to climb on it, get inside of it, and they're just like all over the place.
He'd report on comms. Plane on the airstrip. What's the term? Let me find the term.
Surrounded and encumbered by zombies.
He would say, plane cod swallowed by zombies. Second, see if anyone is if anyone's in it.
I would ask Graves if the other team happens to have a pilot, or
cod wall.
That's why they're stuck.
Looking at what I know.
With your stealth checks, you have not been noticed, so you can perch on the hill until the rest of the group, or not even, it's not really even a hill, it's just like a little bit farther away into the tree line.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to wait till the teams
perception is way up here, that's right. Yeah.
I would move away, so that way when the team comes up, I'm at a different location.
Okay, you want to relocate?
Yeah, I wanna move
North, south, east, or west?
Probably away from where the city be directionally to this airfield.
South. So people are coming in from the south for the team.
So where's my character? Oh, there it is.
Here. So you're like also on the south end technically. It will take a stealth check to relocate on this map before anything.
Yeah, let's just stealth that way around.
And over the comms, Graves would definitely say, one of you should hold position, keep eye on the plane. We're going to begin moving. And then he would answer Jess's question, say, if they have a pilot, I wasn't given that information.
From our perspective, can we see how the plane looks? Like, is it in good condition?
We haven't moved up to see it yet, I think. We've still stayed put while they were scouting.
So yeah, if you want to move up the path that has been cleared by Edward and Jess, you can and kind of move up. For Jess, if she's rolled a stealth 10, she can put herself anywhere on the map that she wants.
And that's the wrong one.
I want to know where the door to the plane is.
It'd be just in the back side.
Graves. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I would then get a number and take a picture and send it to you for what we have.
As they're walking, Graves receives this, and he'll say to the group around him, "They got a plane surrounded by lots of the undead. Likely the folks I'm here to help are trapped in there." And he's just gonna look around at the group while he's walking. "Any of you think you can get me in there?"
The doc would look at the rest of the group after hearing the information and be like, well, he would like raise up Constance and be like, anyone here able to whistle real loud?
Amber will pull out her sidearm that's not silenced and looks to the doc and asks, "Will this work?"
Maybe a little bit too well.
He would look at everyone and say, "Good, then we'll have a distraction with you." And he'll look at the doctor and he'll look at Amber and say, "Maybe you and the others can pick off any stragglers." And he'll go over the comms and say to the other two who are near the plane, "Sounds like a distraction's going to be made. I'm going to be trying to get onto the plane to see if I can help anyone inside. Think any of you can pick off stragglers that may be heading my way?"
Got it.
Affirmative.
And then he's going to look at Morthos and say, "Well, I know what the others can do. What do you have up your sleeve?"
He just kind of holds up his grimoire and smiles and is like, "I got a book."
I feel like he like rolls up his sleeves and you see like all of that tattoos from when he was in the occult, like the magic tattoos.
It's just, I have a book in the most innocent way
Got a
possible.
book.
He's
Yeah,
just gonna
that's a style point.
he's just gonna look at it, and because he's had experience with occult people before, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna badmouth your character, but it's funny because it's in character. Graves is gonna say, "Well, I hope you're better than the last guy," referencing Todd's previous occult character. And he's gonna look at Sarah, the other obviously geared military person with military weapons, and say, "You're with me. You're gonna have my back on the plane."
So I'll just look at Amber and nod, and then get up next to Graves. Unless Amber, you want her to do something different, but I think she would.
Amber will ask if she can help cover or like with the plane, or if Sarah can watch her back.
The doc would look over at Graves and be like, "You plan on going inside that plane?"
"I do. If there's wounded in there, and likely they need my help."
There is a pilot. The right side of the plane only has two zombies on it. Pilot's on the left side, but there's a door on the right.
Can I see the pilot from where I'm at?
So you've
Make a.
moved in close. You can roll another perception as well.
I wanted to see if I can see the pilot inside to see if he's injured or not.
Okay. You can see it's an unmoving person in the pilot seat. You can't tell if he's dead or if he's unconscious, but he doesn't seem to be moving like an active person would.
I also want to tell if the zombies seem different, or if they all seem just equally dead, or if some seem like
These do
they
not.
could be more of a threat.
The ones that are crouching are like missing legs, and so they're like crawlers basically. These zombies
Okay.
also do not look like they did in Korea, not in New York. Though you haven't actually been in New York to see them, but
I'm sure I got photos because I'm curious. About
yeah.
everything.
So there's like Walking Dead zombies. Right? That's not even really a good example. There's like what would be like fresh zombies from like World War Z, where they're just very human, just going crazy. That's more like what Korea was and like New York is. This is much more almost like really
Dead.
old, ancient,
Okay.
revived zombies. And for
Okay.
Morthos, like your head is kind of ringing with this this magic that's making the zombies undead alive again. It's very it's like dark magic you can sense. It's not virus
This
zombies.
is this is an odd question. Is the zombie art from Magic cards?
Quite possibly, because I just googled it.
Because this one.
one. That's Gravecrawler.
Oh yeah, so Justin just said it's Diagraph Ghoul and Gravecrawler, so it is actually.
Well, special thanks
I
to
knew
them
it
for
was familiar.
sponsoring the art. Not really.
I
Hi,
used
Justin. I
to
miss you.
I used to play like a zombie deck like all the time. And yeah, it is them.
Awesome. Well, it
That's
has
funny.
awesome art. This is what I was commenting on, like just
Yeah, I was
Googling
just saying,
cool
They're
pictures.
really cool.
They do have good art.
Never played too much black, but they do have some really cool pictures. But I mostly played blue or green. But
Anyway,
great. But Commander, if you want to approach the plane from the back right, as soon as if we could maybe take out the two zombies with sniper shots on to as they noticed you, and you should be able to get to that door.
Good. As I said, we're going to be coming in with a distraction. Snipers, pick off the stragglers. And then he's going to look at Sarah again and say, again, you're with me.
Might want to keep that distraction to the left side of the plane.
I'm going to have everybody roll initiative at this point, please.
Before Graves starts heading off to the plane, I was planning on the doctor like reaches into his bag and pulls out like clearly an unmarked syringe and hands it to Graves and goes, between one professional and another, you might want to take this before you get in too close to that plane.
Can I deduce what I was given?
Roll medicine.
Sure.
With a 6, I believe it's unmarked, and it's you can't just tell from a syringe like what's in it. But I think you can kind of deduce maybe a little bit of kind of the purpose for why he's giving it to you, Doctor. What would he glean from that with a 6? I think it'd be kind of intended purpose.
I like it's intended to be a support drug. Between us, it's Sherlock Mark 1.
Okay, that's what I need to know.
Okay. I'm just going to put unmarked syringe in my inventory.
I clicked on the wrong initiative. There. That's the proper initiative. I clicked on Sarah's initiative.
She needed
I do
some
that with
initiative
Tori
too,
all the
so,
time.
I mean, it's good.
Oh, speaking of Tori, I should do his initiative.
And it's not so much that I'm going to really operate off of initiative. I just want to keep track of turns. So if you guys want to like switch out or anything, I'm okay with that. Like, because you guys, they're not aware of you at this point. So if you want to say that like Morthos can go before Graves or after Graves or something like that, you can change your order. I just want to have a order once we start.
Yeah. Amber does have her sniper rifle out.
Hey, Adrian?
Yeah.
Is the gun that was really old and kind of icky the Springfield one?
If it was a 30-06, yeah, that's supposed to be a different gun.
Still on his character sheet?
It's in the new safe house on the wall.
No, yeah, no, that's like above the fireplace as like a momentum of the first. I need to just take that off his character sheet. Can we just say that he actually has the right gun and
Yeah.
not have to?
Well, I
Because I
mean,
was
to be
like-
fair, didn't we leave Tori back at the car?
Oh, that's true. He is at the car.
Oh, if Tori's at the car, that makes it easier.
Yeah, he's at the car.
Yep.
Doc, did you roll initiative too, or no?
Oh, I forgot. I was pew 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 checking pin posts and stuff. Okay, so.
Do you want initiative for Sarah?
Yeah, everybody. So if you're gonna with a follower, during combat stuff, I need you to manage your sheet for her too, because
Yeah.
I'm gonna be too busy. And then
Graves
what's the
is
plan?
Wanting Sarah to follow her. What's the plan?
Yeah, what is because there's no combat yet. I just want to know kind of what is.
Oh.
So from Graves, the plan would be for the other doctor to cause a distraction with Big Boom. Preferably Graves with backup Sarah will move into the plane, and the 3 snipers will pick off any stragglers that get close to them.
Okay, and so Jess is relocated. Is Edward or if Ember's also sniping, are they going to try to relocate or just shoot from the south?
I think I might want to move a little bit this way, so I'm not shooting at the high, like, because if my bullet sprays off, it's going to be what essentially hit the. Yes. So I would want to move a little bit more over here, but not
Okay.
like really far.
Are you wanting to cut straight across, or since you have the time, kind of circle so you're not super close to him?
No, so I mean, I got the time. I can, if I think I have the time, I can circle around slowly.
Okay, so roll
I just
another
wanna
stealth
change
with
my
a +2.
angle.
Yeah.
A little bit.
And like I said, Amber would have given Sarah one of her extra sidearms.
She has a sidearm. She'll take it
Okay.
if you're just giving it to her, but
I mean, it doesn't hurt to have a backup sidearm, especially if you have a shotgun and a sidearm, and you either lose one, or it doesn't hurt to have the
Yeah.
second.
sure. Edward, you can go anywhere on the the right side of the plane on the map. So if you want to be kind of in those tree covers, just where you're at, that's fine.
Is there cover out here, but we just
There's more
out
trees.
here, but-
I didn't put like a bunch of trees on it, but there's like more.
Well,
cover.
I think, assuming I got range, he would want to be a
And-
little further away.
What condition does the plane look to be in?
Functioning. A little scratched up from zombies clawing on the hull, but paint scratch.
Okay, so still functioning.
It's functioning.
That's
Well-
all I need to know.
Yeah, from a mechanics perspective, you can tell that it looks like it's been landed and shut off, but it's not broken or crash landed.
Amber will let the others know. If we can clear the zombies away from the plane and aim inside, I could probably get this hunk of junk off the ground.
So
Like pre-combat, I think the doc would try to like angle himself so that like he's like along the airstrip where it's like clear flat ground between him and whatever target.
okay, so just from the tail of the plane straight back, essentially.
Yeah.
So you're standing in the open.
Yes.
I'm not gonna make you roll a stealth check. So you're fine.
And
Okay.
like I did say, I would like it to be noted that when Amber was setting up her Dragonov, she was loading the armor-piercing rounds.
Any other last pre
And
things? Does Morthos, are you
Basically-
wanting to? Sorry, go ahead.
basically she's taking aim at this particular zombie right here with her angling.
Okay. Yeah, aiming via the snipers, you can stack a +4 on your first shot if you're just like hovering in place, waiting to take. The
I
shot.
have I have this one targeted.
And it is silenced, if that helps.
So you said the zombies that don't have a full body
They're
are the brown
crawlers.
ones?
Yeah.
The brown ones are crawlers and the green ones are the walkers?
Yeah.
Okay. I probably would be looking at all of these 4 over here, but mostly the green one that's closest to me. If we're pointing at which ones we're the most nervous about.
What's the plan to kick this off?
My plan would be for the good doctor to kick it off with a loud boom, and then Graves is going to start moving in.
And basically, as soon as the boom goes off, Amber's gonna take her shot.
Okay. Doctor, where are you shooting? You're using the shorty 40, right?
Yeah. The doctor is essentially just gonna like yell, like, try to gain their attention, to be all like, brothers, sisters, come to me.
Is that what he actually says?
Or why not? Because I find it funny.
Okay. Interesting. Go ahead and roll a charisma check since you don't have diplomacy.
Okay.
That.
This is gonna be really uneventful.
The couple ones back here look over at you, but disregard you. Graves and Morthos and Sarah and Amber, are you guys in the runway as well, or are you still in tree cover?
Graves would be preferably in tree cover with Sarah to follow up on the explosion.
How about for Morthos?
Yes, if there are explosives about, he will go get tree cover.
Cool.
Just in case.
Yeah, then the zombies do not react. So everybody else is aware that the doctor's just like shouted at them. But nothing's kicked off from that.
I think over the comms, Graves would just say, Doc, kick it off.
The doc would be like, okay, this is gonna feel wasteful. He shoots a grenade so that it's actually not like near, like somewhere between the plane and them,
You
so
can
that
stretch
it's like
that out. Yeah, it can be further away.
Yeah.
Like 30 feet or whatever.
Right. Because essentially I'm just trying to like get them to come towards me or whatever, loud sound, alert them to the fact that there's people over here. The doctor's also noting the fact that they don't seem to just want to come after him.
Yep. So an explosion roars and blows up part of the runway behind the plane. That does immediately cause response as the zombies begin to shuffle. Are there gunshots at this point?
Yep. Here is Amber's, and you said it was a plus what?
+4 for aiming. You're shooting at the one right by the door.
Yep.
Okay, that's enough. Edward, are you shooting as well? Yours?
Yeah, if it was that big of an explosion.
Yeah, that zombie's dead. Jess, are you shooting as well?
Yeah.
You're shooting the green walker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all of those, all of those die, and then the horde begins to move down towards the explosion. Not you staying there.
I don't know where you want me to move, but the second the explosion goes off and shots are being sent out, Graves is moving towards the plane.
Okay. And is Sarah going with, I presume?
Those were my orders.
I presume so. Okay, so you're running full speed ahead. You see that there's two zombies, one walking and one kind of crawling in your direction, and they see you. So it'd be top of the round. It'd be Amber next. So Amber would be able to take another shot.
Amber's gonna take out the walker, and these are the high-powered armor-piercing rounds.
Okay, go ahead. I will note. Yeah, that's gonna also kill with the 8p. Boom, it dies. Dr. Desdemona, you see through the parted flames and smoke, all the zombies seem to be moving towards you. Or moving towards explosion, possibly. It's kind of hard to tell.
Right. The doc is just gonna calmly break open Constance, pull out the empty shell, drop it into probably the open medical bag by his foot, and then like reach down, pull out another shell, load it in. That's pretty much his turn.
Okay. Jess?
I'll shoot this one. It's the one I have a view on at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Just boom. Put it out of its misery.
Yeah, that's
the right
it's
call.
dead too. Morthos.
For the moment, I'm just gonna move like right there, just a tiny bit closer, and I'm gonna wait to see if any of them actually like make it over this way.
Okay, as soon as you kind of break cover, the zombies were kind of shambling because they heard the explosion, which drew their attention quite a bit. But as soon as you step out and they're already kind of facing your direction, they begin to run towards you. One, two, oh, they fall. They fall in the hole. They fall in the hole. This one goes boom, 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 boom. Gets almost right up to you, but can't move because of the double move, or can't attack. And then these guys pick themselves up and start clambering up out of the pit that's in the middle of the runway. This guy is going to crawl, and these guys are going to run as well. But the one right up in front of you is, again, it's different from Korea. You don't get that stinker. You don't have to make that body roll the same way. But it's coming right up close to you, and that's actually all it can do for double move. Great.
Can I like shoot it as it like runs up on me?
Sure. Go ahead. I will say yes.
And at this time, I like just remembered, but I forgot to remind you to put in the pistol that I got from Ada.
Oh, I forgot about the pistol from Ada. Yes. Okay.
I'm gonna throw a couple style points on this because.
Is this the pistol from Ada? From Ada?
No, because it's not on my sheet. I didn't know if it was like.
It's you can have used that pistol if you wanted, but otherwise, because you would have it. I just haven't put it on your sheet.
Right.
So if you wanted,
I just don't know like if it does anything special per se.
I don't think you've used it before.
Yeah, I missed the only shot I took with it.
Okay. Oh, in Vegas?
Yeah.
So I'll let you choose. Did you want to use your old Glock or the one from Ada for this one? For this specific shot?
I would like to use the one from Ada.
Okay. With an 8, and since I don't have the other sheet at all, that hit the zombie, and then it immediately gets blasted back and explodes into zombie shrapnel. It's dead.
Nice.
Edward.
His sights are still going to be focused over here in this general area, so that would be the first thing on his sight target. I don't assume I do not get the +4 because I'm not aiming this
Not
time.
for this one. You're just shifting over and just taking another shot right away. So just normal.
Yeah. Okay, and it's not from the hip, so. Oh.
That shot hits the ground right next to it, or maybe it's hard to tell. You hit the zombie possibly, but it does not drop. It's already like blown off half of its legs and stuff, so it's crawling, and it does not seem to slow from that.
Okay.
Oops, I skipped over Sarah, but Sarah's kind of syncing with Graves to kind of run.
Yeah, we're moving to the door.
And that would be back to...
Me.
Who did I skip?
Amber.
I know I got skipped, but we were just moving.
I think I skipped like a lot of people. I'm sorry. I usually clicked it twice. But yeah, if you both move up, you can get up to the door of the plane.
Is it closed? Is it like
It
locked?
It
Can I
is
get
closed and locked from the inside.
Okay. A lot of sound is kicked off, right? I know I can use my base move to get here. It looks like the other zombies are distracted.
They're all running towards Morthos.
If that's the case, can I try and fire some rounds into this crawler?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to try and do that.
I think this is the first one where I actually need to roll an active defense for it. And you put 3 rounds into it, or 3 successes, so it's like bang, 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 and you even get a headshot on it. And it continues to crawl now towards you.
Ooh, okay.
Amber.
All right. So is that crawler still alive?
Roll quick perception. Yeah, shifting over, looking through the scope, you can see that it is still moving despite being lead-filled.
All right. She's going to put that thing down before it gets too close to her old friend.
Okay, and now that... Okay, yeah, you blow a big chunk of skull off of it. Doctor, you're standing not too far away, and you can see the zombies all peeling over towards Morthos.
Yeah, I'll try to sink another one in the same spot.
Okay.
I'm being a bit of a style dragon right now, so I'll throw 3 into it for kicks and giggles.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, the black doesn't count as part of the map. Oops. 3. Boop.
Okay. This is not going to be a roll needed. These ones are destroyed in the explosion.
Since I'm not moving, can I use my movement to begin reloading?
Shoot, Amber, you shattered that one's head. That one, it stirs for a moment and then just drops to the ground. But yeah, sorry, Doctor, you blew that up, and then you can immediately just start going into reloading because you're not moving at all, right?
Yeah, I'm saying, but
yeah, that's fine. So you can eject the shell and like already start putting the next one in. It's fine. At this point, I think we're at the point where it's just mopping up. So in the interest of time, because it's almost midnight for some people and almost 1 for others, I'm going to take us out of turn order at this point. Jess, are you kind of clear? What do you want to do?
Do I know if I could pick the lock to get into this plane?
It's probably a safe bet that you could try.
That's you don't know. I probably would work on picking off a couple zombies and then head over to pick off the lock.
Okay.
Generally. shoot more zombies, and then head over.
Yeah. So a couple more cracks of gunfire as you start moving down. Down here where the rest of the zombies are kind of starting to pool, one drops from Jess's shot. Morthos has his gun. Are you able to shoot, or does the doctor just want to take them out with a shell? There's not that.
Yeah.
left, so
If they start moving, if they're clustered up and moving away from the plane in a like a safe distance, yeah, the doctor would just sink another one in.
okay. So, oops, I put him on map. That they're all exploded from the shell and will be out of initiative.
When Graves gets up to the door, while all this chaos is still going on, he slams on it and says, "Open up, help's arrived." And if nothing happens, then I'll wait for you to say if anything happens.
No, nothing. No responses.
If nothing happens, he's actually going to try himself. He's going to pull out his own mechanical lockpicking kit
Sweet.
and try and get inside.
Okay. Yeah, an explosion erupts behind you as the third shell goes off.
Am I
Yeah,
rolling to try and get in?
Go ahead and roll your larceny.
Any bonuses from having the kit?
I think the kit gives you a +2, but I think you've also looked at it more recently than I have.
I know the medical kit gives +2, so I would assume all other kits probably give
Yeah.
+2.
If you have the specific gear for it, it's usually +2, so just add that for now.
Alright. I'm also going to spend my last 2 style points. So, larceny. See if I can get to work on this.
Okay. As Jess is coming up, Sarah is rifle up, kind of pointed down in the south end, keeping guard. Edward's kind of spotting them from the scope. Amber, Morthos, and Desdemona have just dealt with the last wave of those little zombies. And as you unlock the cabin, you can see various pieces of gear, supplies, stuff in the back, and it's open.
Graves is going to begin moving in and sweeping the plane.
Okay, there's a single occupant in the pilot's chair.
I'm going to cautiously move up and say, if you're still with us, state your name.
No answer.
He's gonna
Sarah's gonna probably fall in after.
slowly approach. And just as he's getting closer and closer, he says again, if you're still with us, now's the time to tell us who you are.
Yeah, it looks like there's the guy in the front. It looks like the way his head is hanging, he looks dead. As you get that close to him, you can see some foam from his mouth.
I'm gonna check his pulse.
There is no pulse.
Do I recognize any tags? Do I recognize this as a member of a specific team? Is this one of the people I was here to reinforce?
I forget. Did you get dossiers from the people?
I know you gave me names, but
it would have been like redacted stuff with like their pictures, right? I think that's what I was intending that to be. So yeah, this looks like Jorge's picture.
And I didn't spy Danica or Edwin.
There's nobody else in here.
Is this a sign of like the foaming at the mouth? Do I see any external injuries, or is this like cyanide pill? Can I give a once over?
Yeah, if you do an investigate/medicine, probably synergy if you've got those fours. Edward, from the vantage point you're in, can you roll perception for me, please?
I'll be rolling medicine because it is higher with the +2 from investigation.
Oh yeah. I never get used to perception not being
Yes.
a regular skill.
If you want, you can put it as a skill, just then copy them out. That's actually not a bad idea. Just put it in the skills, because that happens all the time. 3 perception. You hear a vehicle approaching from the east. And with the 3 perception, you also know that the tracks are all coming from like the forest, like they've been swarming in from the forest or like the brush towards the plane, and you can see that the noise has attracted more zombies, and you can see shambling through the underbrush is another horde approaching.
Oh, so there's not one particular direction, just off from all over? And...
From your side, they're coming from the east that you're aware of.
Okay. I guess, but like they didn't like all come from like this, like the one direct, like they're coming from like all sorts of directions, not like coming from one place.
They would be coming from mostly from the east direction, which is like the side that you're on. And once they got to the plane, they swarmed the plane. It's not so much that they're coming from the north or the south or the west. It's kind of more towards from the east, which is where.
And the vehicle is coming from where?
It's like the southeast.
So back the way we came?
Yeah, kind of like coming from there.
Was there a vehicle that passed Tori that he told us about?
Tori hasn't talked on the comms, no.
Tori, did a vehicle pass you?
No.
Is there anything that we need to do outside of the plane to get it ready to take off? Just asking.
You could roll a check, or are you asking the other people?
I'm asking you.
The plane looks like it needs to just be like turned on and can fly.
Okay.
Anything for my medicine?
The medicine, what'd you roll? 8. Yeah, he had a cyanide pill, it looks like.
Can I, before we, fade to black for the session, can I give him a once-over, see if he has anything on him that may tell where the other members are, if they're even alive?
Yes. And I would like to give that to you, I think, in just a moment, post-session, once I kind of think about what that actually is. Because it looks like everybody's kind of swarming towards the plane. And Edward, have you warned of like this throng of zombies approaching?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to say how he would say in character, but he would have both warned them about the horde and told them about the incoming car or vehicle.
Okay.
Well, automobile.
As you all reach to the plane and start to, like, some of you starting to get aboard, Graves kind of patting down and checking over this dead agent's body and what he has, you hear the sound of belt-fed machine gun fire start ricketing through the trees at a very close distance, as the sound of like a pickup truck or something, Jeep, begins to drive in through the brush with bullets spraying into the tree line. And that's where we shall stop because it's very late.
Yep. Basically,
I would
Amber.
be picking up zombies, by the way. Just saying.
And Amber would have been heading to the front of the plane and trying to get things set up for takeoff.
Okay. Well, I know it's super late. We normally don't go this late for a session. I appreciate everybody sticking it out and hanging. It's been fun to see all these new characters kind of joining in for the Mexico arc. And we shall pick this up next week as the machine guns are beginning to shoot at the zombies.